To Iconic Productions Friday night show. I'm Josh, the Dungeon Master and World Builder for our mostly 5th edition D&D campaign. It gets worse. With us tonight is a full crew for the 2nd consecutive week, which is awesome. We have Beth playing Shoji, the... Oh my god, she was a half-elf necromancer. Now she's some sort of resurrected obsidian golem sent back until her task is done. Mary playing Almania, the former blue-scaled dragonborn, now totally unrelatedly blue-feathered ravenfolk. Wondrous. Bard sorcerer, Grace playing Vera, the halfling grandmother rogue, and Jenny playing Galena, the blue dragonborn monk. Whew. We're going to jump right into when we last left our heroes as soon as I pull up the recap that I wrote last week. Definitely pulled up before we started the stream. When we last left our heroes, they had just burned down one of the warehouses controlled by the cult of Illyriel, which seems to have been a place where the dead were being brought to be dismembered and repurposed. In the ensuing fight, Shoji died again. Several people were knocked unconscious, and you were hunted through the streets by a large reaver composed of numerous humanoid corpses, projecting blades from every limb. Vera successfully, and dare I say it heroically, drew its attention away from the rest of the group, who were slowed by the twin burdens of Damya, the cleric, and Shoji's unconscious and dead forms. In a mad dash across the rooftops, nostalgia for the awful days of her youth inspired Vera to daring feats of acrobatics and fiendish cleverness, and after depositing the pursuing creature in the midst of a squad of spear-wielding city watch, who may or may not have survived that encounter, made good her escape and rejoined the group. Meanwhile, Harp and Soul, the rest of the party, have been barred from entering the Mayweather camp because several of them have contracted the dread Red Harvest. Alliteration. The party consulted Grady, one of the lieutenants of the Mayweather organization, from a short distance, delivered their report and sought Oth's knowledge on the mask that Vera stole from the body of one of the horrible bone creatures from the abattoir that was a warehouse. A mask which seems to retain a malign essence and to which Vera narrowly avoided succumbing after sleeping a little too close to it. Oth couldn't tell you much about it particularly, except that its essence is akin to what is commonly found in the Borderlands, and any place of significant power or weapon of significant power should be able to destroy it. The only means he was aware of is in Sogorod in the Borderlands, or whatever that large power source was underneath Mindanathil. After seeking information regarding a potential cure for the Red Harvest, Damya used divine magic to ease the symptoms on several of the party members, reduce the blood tumors that were growing at every joint. And so while your will and your charisma are reduced somewhat, the dexterity penalty from that is eliminated. Following that, the party decided to deal with another of the threats that have been harassing the Mayweathers along their border, the kobolds. And after avoiding a number of cleverly hidden traps and learning that the sewers seemed to belong solely to the ghouls and their ilk, the party found one of the kobold tunnels and made contact with Bird Bones, a hungry kobold with some talent and eagerness for negotiation. After soliciting a number of gifts and goodies, Bird Bones promised to supplant the Mossflower tribe's current chieftain and meet the party back here in 2 days' time to set the terms for a truce between the halflings and the kobolds, and potentially negotiate an active alliance against Sam Velhain in order to get, quote, a ton of food.
And most importantly, give Grace the ability to make the kobolds a player race.
Also that. The party rested, trained, and planned their next moves. and waited for nightfall, when they shall infiltrate the council district themselves and gather intelligence from a bug. Haha. It's a spike. It's not technically a bug. Well, it's not technically. Oh dear. Which they planted in San Valentine's Manor. Insects, bugs, arachnids. Text, not, yeah. Okay, close that. Good. So, you guys have spent the day, the rest of your daylight hours, training, finding out. Show.
I'm sorry, I was going to say, before we go off somewhere, can I please find the best armor that I can get my hands on?
Oh.
To improve my AC, yes.
Okay. So Shoji wants to get armor. Are there any other supplies or preparations that you guys want to make during this day?
Galena would like to go hunt down a healer's kit.
Glenna's putting together a healer's kit. Okay. Vera, anything in particular or just training?
Training, and can I like find supplies? I know we're separated from the hideaway from the Mayweather compound, but find supplies and leave them for Gideon in wherever we are. Like resupply his hideaway.
Oh, I generally assumed that kind of each time you've gone there, you've brought him at least something.
Right.
But yes.
Good.
You do notice when you do this that the place is tidier than you left it.
Okay, good.
And everything has been like cleaned, emptied, washed out, etc. And the lock on the door has been changed.
Aha.
I'm going to assume that given a little bit of time, you can get through it. But you know that it's not Carolyn, right? I thought that was.
Oh,
Benji.
never mind. It's Miriam. Miriam.
There it is. Yeah.
Yes.
Good.
Sorry, I have to keep track of my own multitudinous family somehow.
I mean, you gave me like 7. How many? You guys you had.
I have 10 grandsons.
Grandsons, that's right. You gave me 4 direct children and like 10 grandchildren. Insane. Almania, are there any preparations or supplies that you want to acquire before nightfall? Shoji's grabbing some armor. Galena is putting together a healer's kit. Vera is seeing to her son. Anything Almania wants to do?
If I can find anything that will make me more charismatic. But probably not, because I look like this.
So the look, like your appearance, Damya took care of. Basically, she drained all of the growths and then tightly wrapped them with bandages, which like leaves can just go over. And you're wrapped up anyway, hiding your avian features.
Right.
At this point, the external charisma reduction, right? The reduction in your attempts to negotiate with others is reduced by the awful smell that still pervades the area around you. So, if you could find something to mask the smell, that would then be eliminated. That penalty would also be eliminated. So if you wanted to seek that,
yeah,
we can put it on the list. Okay.
Yeah, let's do that.
Good. Let's do this. Shoji, the Mayweathers have plenty of armor. It's all leather. And I think your natural armor class is higher than what it would be with just leather. I think if I gave you leather, your armor class would be 14.
Oh, it doesn't stack? Ah.
No, so your armor class here, glass skin. Here we go. So your unarmored armor class is 13 plus your defense, which is equivalent essentially to a set of studded leather, like higher quality leather armor.
Nice.
I see.
Um,
So if I could find armor higher than studded leather, then that would be good. But if I can't, then this is better.
Unfortunately, the Mayweathers do not have any of that handy. If you wanted to make that something that you, if you want to like put that on a list for the party to go out and hunt, absolutely. You could also, if you wanted, take time today to like go look for it yourself, but I will be having you roll to see if you run into anything, and you would be facing it alone if you did.
Okay, I'll go the coward's way out and wait.
Well, no, hold on. This is Gebrecan. That's not the coward's route. That's the sensible you want to live to accomplish things.
Oh, that makes me feel a little bit better.
But you can certainly communicate to the party that that's something on your list.
Yes.
Galena, very little trouble kind of putting together bandages. Needles a little harder to come by. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
They didn't keep any of those things that we gave to, what was his name?
Bird bones.
Bird Bones. He took all our needle-like accoutrements.
Oh, I think we have
I
more in the
still
glass
have-
hours kit.
Only what you guys gave him. You guys gave him a bone awl, tweezers, a glass vial, a potion of fire resistance, a glass cutter, a chunk of colored glass, and small chunks and flakes of flail snail shell.
What did you want me to roll, Josh?
Investigation.
Investigation.
Actually, here's what's fun.
I'm dropping the dice.
You actually, you go ahead and roll investigation, but Shoji, you can also roll investigation because you're the only one allowed in the Mayweather camp. So actually, let's do this. Galena, let's have you roll investigation with disadvantage because all you have to search through is pretty much already picked through areas. And then Shoji, you've actually got some help within the Mayweather camp that can help you piece together a kit.
My first roll was good. My second was not as good. And that's plus a big fat 0.
Oh, okay. So straight 10. Okay. Shoji with a 19. But between the two of you, you can cobble together what amounts to a healer's kit. So let me go ahead and check that in your inventory here. Items.
May I also ask Sho to look for something else in the compound? I forgot I couldn't go in.
Healer's kit. There
That's
it
a
is.
good point.
Healer's kit. Galena, good. Okay, Galena, you now have a healer's kit in your inventory. Vera, you're looking for, I'm sorry, you wanted to send Shoji for something as well?
Yes. I know this is a difficulty, but do we have any paper? And barring that, paint.
Paint, yes. Paper and parchment, no.
Okay. Because I was thinking of making like posters or flyers, but we can do some good old fashioned tagging here. So never mind.
Yeah, there's some posters are essentially what got the city into 2 of its current messes.
I know. I'm trying to get us out. Is a little bit of poetic justice. Poetic, I don't even know.
Vera,
irony.
Yours, I'm sorry. Yeah, the Mayweathers have some, but it is used almost exclusively for passing critical messages and orders.
Never mind. Paint.
Yeah, not for paint. Sure.
All right.
there's all kinds of stuff that you could use to scribble and paint all over the place. So if you wanted to
All right.
grab a whole bunch of that, sure.
I'm gonna grab a whole bunch of that. That's awesome.
Almanya, you're looking for essentially perfume or scents, scented oils, or something like that. If you would also give me an investigation check.
Yeah.
Actually, again, this would be Shoji, because you can give me one with disadvantage. Shoji, you can give me. I'll just assume that they all kind of gave you a laundry list of Shoji, we need these. So Shoji, you can also look.
Okay.
Disadvantage.
So Shoji with a
A natural 20. Which
Wow.
Unfortunately, in all of the chaos that the city's been enduring, nobody really thought to grab things that simply smelled nice. There's soap that's used that's kept exclusively for those who are in the like the sick area with wounds, and yeah, there's not much around. All right.
Thinking I should spend my time practicing.
Yeah, no. This is on top of training. These are kind of quick little errands, and then I assume you spend the rest of the day training. Okay. Preparations made. Training complete. The sun goes down, and as the red moon grows fuller and fuller, everything is bathed in a rosy pink light. It is just after dusk. The sun is below the horizon. What is the plan? And who do you want? Which non-player characters do you want to take with you?
I was just thinking about this, that Constantine is too loud, especially in his heavy armor. And we have the tank, which is Show.
Now you're
We love you, Constantine, darling. But yes, we need Show because she can communicate with the bug. Yes, and
That's
she's
true.
very tough now.
I'm very excited about that. Every time I'm just like, yes, tank.
one thing to recall though is I believe, don't you have? Yeah, so you have disadvantage on stealth checks that involve not making noise.
Yes.
Someone have Pass Without a Trace? I forgot.
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
You do?
Cool.
I have a list of spells that I can prepare, and I think last time I chose.
Oh, you sent them to me, and I forgot to actually add them to your character sheet. My apologies. Do you want? I can go ahead and add those now. Just remind me how many you're allowed to have. Take a second to look through your class and let me know how many you're allowed to have at once. Like how many prepared, and then tell me which ones you want.
Okay.
So not Constantine.
I assume we should bring Damia because of healing purposes, but I also feel kind of guilty doing that. What do y'all think?
Is Damia rested enough? Because she's trying to.
Damia's good.
Okay. Because we were hoping that she would help me and Almanya stave off the infection.
Yeah, so what she's done is she's cast Lesser Restoration on you guys. So the next time you have to make a con save as your body fights the infection, you will have advantage.
Okay.
So we'll be making those basically every morning at the start of each day. You guys will be making those saves. And so as long as she dumps a couple of slots into you guys at the beginning of every day, then the next morning you'll have advantage.
So no Constantine, yes Damia.
Okay, so
I'm
Damia's
thinking. If you guys are okay with risking her, the only cleric that exists on Earth except for Callista.
I mean, there's a whole order of them now, right? But they're all either in Mindanathil or with the Legion that was continuing through the forest.
Yes. And I suppose before we go, we ought to establish our goals here, and once they are completed, get out. Because I know I have a goal is to go to the ash grove that is in the council district and get a supply of ash bark, because Damia has been very helpful to us, but this sickness is everywhere, and it seems very useful to have a supply. So as much ash bark as we can carry, if we can make it to the grove, is one goal of mine. Show to speak with your bug and see what information it has. This is almost more of a supply run, and grab as much food as we can get our hands on, and perhaps use it to help negotiate with bird bones later, as well as evidence of what he could get. But other than that, and reconnaissance, agreed entirely.
Look for weaknesses. I mean, how are we going to break in with kobolds?
Exactly. Or yes, come up with a plan, or even if, and this is a pipe dream, but come up with a way to get in and out that nobody notices, as in just that this doesn't have to be the only trip that we make into the district. And I'm very tempted by the kobolds' digging prowess, tunneling prowess, because I think this time around we're going to have to go over, but going under would be preferable. All of the walls.
It'd be pretty sweet if we could get the kobolds to set up traps all over the council district.
It might be a bit of a giveaway, but yes, it's sort of a final.
So hidden. Like, they're so good at making really hidden traps. It'd be hilarious if Sam Belhain stepped outside of his door and got an axe to the face. Wouldn't that be hilarious?
Would be glorious, and Oz's ghost would be cheering with us all if such a thing were to occur. And I have an additional goal, but it's more on the way there, to inform as many civilians as possible, perhaps by painting messages, however we can make it clear that in 5 days this is over, and they need to make a decision about what side they're on. Because, frankly, a mob would be rather useful. And we know exactly where they should be directing their ire, so to speak. So is there anything else that you all want to do in the council district? It seems if we get that done, we get out as quickly as possible.
Josh, was Horace Bandweather in the council district?
No, he was, if I remember correctly, he was either within or kind of at the edge of the Cataract district.
Okay, awesome. Then I don't have any plans, and I'm good. Happy to help everybody else. Is that it? Any other plans?
Okay, let's go.
Go where?
I have to look at the map.
Me.
All right, so didn't we figure out that the most unguarded section of wall around the council district is the one that is the outer wall of the city? Am I correct?
Yep.
Already.
Correct.
So my climbing speed, I have second story work. So I don't take a how tall are the walls, actually?
The walls themselves vary, but average 40 or 50 feet.
Okay. Because my thought is
but the council district itself rests on top of a cliff that rises above the river.
Right. So if I'm looking at this wall, what section of wall was I thinking about then? Because there's a tiny section of wall out the gate that is not over the river.
So that would be, yeah, that would be basically up. It would be in like going up a slope.
So am I correct? I'm looking at the map here.
Yep.
That if we're looking at the council district here, and there's a road that leaves the city going south, is that correct?
Oh, yeah, over near Devotion's estate.
Yes. Is that the exit of the city gate right there?
Yes, that would take you out, and then.
And then if we went directly west, what would we see? If we're standing on the road, we're standing right in front of that main gate, and we look to our left, what do we see wall-wise?
There it is. Okay. Okay. So if you walk out of that gate and look left,
Or if we're standing facing the gate, does that wall look like? What does the terrain look like?
facing the gate from the inside or
From the outside.
Okay, so you're outside the gate looking at it. What's to your left?
Yeah.
Is immediately a 60-foot cliff. And
From
on
the
top,
road?
yeah. So actually, if you the interior of the city, how do I explain this? Basically, if you're walking along that road inside the city towards the gate to leave, on your right is just an almost completely sheer cliff, 60 feet up.
So I'm sorry, I did not realize that at all. This entire section is like a big mountain in the middle. It's the Acropolis.
Yes.
Okay, I did not realize that. With a wall on top.
Correct. Each time you have gone from the Counteract District into the Council District, you've basically gone up this massive causeway that is just a ramp up to the Council District.
Okay. So if we go to the outside here, we're right on this little sliver of wall before you hit the river.
Mhm.
How high up is that, the tippy top of the wall from where you step out of the city gate?
It's the top of the wall is about 100 feet from ground level.
All right. So if you step out onto the road right outside of the city and turn and look, there's 100 feet up to the top.
Yep.
Okay. So when I was doing, and that's clearly the most unguarded spot because of that reason.
Yeah, that whole wall from that road all the way until where the two walls join over by the Henneke estate.
Is relatively unguarded, but I'm assuming it's unguarded because they're not expecting anybody to go up 100 feet.
For whatever the reason is, yeah, the wall facing the exterior, the wilderness, is relatively unguarded in comparison to the walls inside.
Cool. You guys up for some mountaineering?
You know, I've never done that before, so it'll be interesting.
So I'm so sorry. I have to go on historical geek out for a sec. This is exactly how the only time Edinburgh Castle ever fell was because they didn't guard a section of sheer cliff and someone went up it and entered the castle and opened the gate during the night. So it's been done, people. You gotta look at that. It's awesome.
So before you guys go, did you want to try and obtain some climbing equipment?
Actually, yes. Sorry, I did not know the geography of this. It is not a topographical map.
We have
It needs to be.
I have an elevation
yes.
map somewhere, but
it's on here. I have it on here. The problem is that the screen, it's so the on here is hard to look at. So I keep on trying to mess with it to see if I can see.
Oh, wait, I see it now. So wait a minute. The cliff on the other side of the river is only 10 feet high?
No, so that. Sorry, this would go way faster if we were actually in person, but I can't even really point. I keep trying to go. No, like if you're looking at this area right here, that's so Grace. If you look north along the wall there and you see the 50-foot cliff, that
Yes.
10-foot cliff is 10 feet off the top of the 50.
So it's 60 feet up.
Yes,
Alright.
same as the south side.
So it is lower along that north wall, but only about 10 feet though.
Yes, but that lower wall gets you into the lakeside, not the palace district or council district.
Oh, okay. So yes, our best shot is this sheer area. So I would say yes, let's spend some of our planning time getting climbing equipment if possible.
I'm gonna give you guys some climbing kits.
Thank you. And you know what? I assume that like the Mayweathers would have some because
Yeah.
we've been shimmying up and down these cliff faces for 200 years.
Yeah, this one is no trouble. They of course have climbing equipment, and because they've stopped essentially sending out scouts and raids to the council district because they stopped coming back. They have plenty lying around.
Cool.
All right, climber's kit. You get a climber's kit. You get a climber's kit. All right.
And just out of curiosity, what sort of ability checks are involved in climbing? Is that a strength? Is that a dex? Is that your
Depends.
choice?
Depends on what you're doing. If you say, I want to scale the cliff, it's athletics.
That's strength.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that the climber's kit, though, does something for you there.
Right. And also, would my climbing abilities help with that?
Yeah. Hold on,
Having
give me
the
one
thief abilities?
second. What I would probably have you do, Vera, is make a dexterity athletics.
Thank you. That would be much more helpful. Good to know. Is everybody else okay with climbing based on strength? Or do we need to fudge something?
Or up a cliff.
Ooh, I'm liking the way Jenny thinks.
I do not have any strength, but I am dexterous.
So,
And also, I
again,
don't know how the athlete. I'm also an athlete, so climbing takes up no extra movement, but I don't know if that'll actually help me get up the cliff.
what the climber's kit has, though, is a bunch of pittons. I'm not a climber. I don't know how to say these words. Pittons and rope. And so what you can essentially do is if one person makes it up the cliff, they can set anchors, and then everybody else really just has to climb the rope.
Yes.
Okay. So would that be
Carabiners.
dex?
Which would be much easier. At that point, it would be athletics, but essentially, like, don't roll a 1.
I mean, isn't Galena can run straight up walls, I assume.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
She's a monk. She can do that.
Oh, do you have, what is that called?
Well, I don't remember what it's officially called, but
I don't know if I have any extra abilities. I just have athlete. But I'm also not strong, so I don't know.
what level are you?
7.
You should be able to. But let me check.
Yeah, Mary, if you wouldn't mind looking that up real quick.
No problem.
So, in the meantime, what is the plan for getting there? Are you going out of the gate right by the slacks? What's the plan?
I would go through, since they're at least neutral, go through the brass. Just go straight south out of
Are you looking at this one? Okay.
yeah.
So through the Cataract District to that southern gate.
Yeah, sorry, this map isn't labeled with the neighborhood names, so that's always confused me.
I literally
that's
have
good.
3 maps up. One is elevation, one is the color-coded neighborhood map, and then one is the
Yeah.
Mayweather.
The color coded is the one I think most of us have been using. But yeah, just to go. Go ahead, Almania.
Jenny, you can't you can't do it until level 9. For some reason, I thought it was level 7 when you got
Yeah.
that, but it's level 9.
You don't have that one.
Unarmored movement. There's like a second unarmored movement, essentially.
All right, so going through the Cataract District.
about right.
Yeah, so south through the What?
I said, yeah, sounds about right.
Sorry, you guys are breaking up for me. I got bad internet.
As the sun has gone down and the darkness gets heavier and heavier, really, like right at the beginning of the
I'm
narrative,
sorry,
just
but,
like
but that was a little bit too like, oh, you're going through the cataracts. I think we need to talk more about route before we say that. 'Cause
okay.
that's extremely general. Because are the heavy black lines roads or are they walls?
No, the heavy black lines are walls. Oh,
So I thought that
yeah.
So I thought that the black line though leading out of the city is the road.
Here, let me reshare.
I'm sorry, audience. I'm sure this is fascinating,
Let me.
but I
let me
really don't want to die.
Yeah, in fairness, this is basically the exact situation in which the last campaign ended in a TPK. So I'm going to indulge this.
I'm a little paranoid.
So I just reshared the color map. So if you look at that, on the color map, the heavy black lines are walls and all of the red lines are streets.
Okay, in our experience so far, has it been that the streets are clearer or that the alleys are a better idea?
It depends. I mean, if you're trying to avoid anybody at all seeing you, alleys are better. Roads
I'm
are a
talking
lot
more like
faster.
encounter. Yeah, encounters.
Hasn't
Who's lurking?
hasn't really changed. There are people and or things in most of the nooks and crannies.
But I mean the open road.
I mean, you guys were on the open road when the circle found you.
Right. Okay. So in other words, it's either way is not great. There's no one that's clearly better or more clear.
Right.
Okay. Well, time's not an issue at the moment, at least not getting there. So if everybody else agrees, I'd say do not the direct route. Do alleys rather than main roads, since we're trying to sneak up on them.
Sounds
Sound
good
good?
to me.
Mm-hmm. That sounds good to me.
Alrighty. So yes, south through the cataracts, and as we go quietly, I will be spray painting messages all over all buildings that I can find.
Can I cast Pass Without a Trace before we?
It lasts an hour though, because that only lasts an
Oh.
hour.
It,
So we might want to be careful.
An hour gets you to the exterior gate.
Right, but we need it when we're actually going into the council district.
I
would say
can
do
cast it
raw roll.
again. I think that's a second level spell. I have 3 second level spell slots and not a lot of options for spells, especially like attack spells. So I can just cast it 2 times if you like.
If you're willing to burn them, that might be wise.
Yeah, I mean, why not, right? I'm not sure how it works.
The heist mission. This is the heist. Let's do all the pass without a trace.
Yes, I like it. Better to err on caution's side.
So yes, in any public area or place that people will see, I will leave messages to the tune of "We're all gonna die in 5 days. Storm the council district. You have nothing to lose but your chains."
Mm.
I like this tagline. We sound really good. Sing,
We're Marxist revolutionaries, everybody. Let's do this.
write a few lines of my jingle in there, you know.
I'm sorry, I was quoting
So Shoji,
Marxist. I'm not a fan of Marxist. Oh, yes.
Let's not be
You can
racist.
prepare 4 spells because it's wisdom modifier plus half of your revenant level, which would be
But-
3.
Isn't my wisdom modifier only 1?
Yeah, but it's
Oh.
1 plus half of your revenant level, which would be 3.
Oh.
That's a total
Oh.
of 4 spells.
Oh, I'm 7th level Revenant. I was thinking I was only like 1st level Revenant. Mm-hmm.
No, your
Because that
your
just happened.
class,
Oh,
your necromancer class is gone.
it's totally gone. Ah, fantastic. Oh, okay, okay. Thank you. Okay.
Okay. Good. So you're all stealthing, and are you casting Pass Without a Trace or no?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So if everybody would roll a stealth check plus 10, and if one person could please roll a d12 for me. Actually,
Oh.
they're all
Oh, yeah.
stealth. If you
Disadvantage.
would like to roll the d12, you're welcome to.
We refuse all responsibility for this roll, so please do it, Julie.
Right.
Thank you for Pass Without a Trace. That was very useful.
Yay.
That's about 10. It's supposed to be all these rolls. I
Wow,
swear, I think
Vera.
that's the most useful spell that is in. No matter all the cool things you can do in D&D, Pass Without a Trace is the most useful spell.
It's really kind of absurd. What level spell is it?
2.
That's insane.
Yeah, plus 10 to a roll, like to everyone.
That's incredible.
That is incredible second level spell. Okay. All right, got it. I'm waiting for Grace to raise her hand. Okay. All right. The sun has gone down. You are all kitted out, and you set off through the Mayweather district. As night falls heavier, fog starts to appear kind of in the alleys. You can really only see it in the street lamp, the light of the street lamp at first. You can see the moisture in the air, but as you travel over the next 30-40 minutes, it steadily gets thicker and thicker. Down here, you cannot it never kind of reaches that level of I can't see, right? It's not fully obscuring your vision, but in the lights that ring the wall around the top of the council district, you can see a thick, heavy fog just kind of spreading tendrils over the council district walls and just kind of descending down into the lower city. What are our stealth checks total? Vera, is that a 34? Almanya 20, Shoji. Shoji, you did roll with disadvantage. Okay, so 13. So 23 total, and Galena with a 24. So as you guys creep down the streets through the alleyways, Vera occasionally taking paint and splashing messages across the walls before moving on. You guys are in the middle of the street when you hear skittering. I mean, imagine a dog trying to run on hardwood floors coming from the street behind you, and you all kind of duck into an alley. And 3 massive, hunched over creatures that you have seen once before in Westashire. The things that the ghouls were riding, just these almost like a ghoul, but elongate all of the limbs, put a little bit more depth and muscle in the chest, and bring the head like almost down into the chest, just come skittering up the street and pass by you. They do not detect your presence. Katie's out for you guys. She's and you guys make it to the gate.
Okay, since it's been an hour, can I cast another time, Pass Without a Trace?
Hasn't been an hour. Actually, you know, it's about 40 minutes, but with stopping occasionally for Vera to splash messages. Yeah, as you guys are kind of looking at the interior of the city gate, you can cast it again. Now, as you're there, being right next to the council district, the main street is filled with just that dense fog. Once you go in there, you're not going to be able to see further than 5 to 10 feet in front of you. And even in the alley where you're hiding, some of that thicker fog is starting to develop and fill the place that you're all standing. You can see the gate itself. There is one massive beam. There we go. Wooden beam kind of set in the slots to keep the gate closed. There's a guardhouse on either side of the gate, and you can see light inside the one on the right. And then there are 2 guards, city guard, just walking on top of the gate, slowly patrolling the wall up there.
May I just take everybody aside really fast? As in, are we within earshot of those guards yet? Can we still talk?
You can hear them talking. You are not close enough that you can clearly hear their words, and it's kind of muffled and distorted by the heavy atmosphere.
Right. So they can't hear us.
If you're talking in a whisper, there's pretty much no chance. You're pretty confident there's no chance that they're going to hear.
All right. Can I say like huddle up and we do a football huddle here? All right. So, as far as I know, there's no law against walking out the city gate into the wilderness.
If they call, hello, will you let us out? And they say, are you crazy? Then they know we're here.
Yes,
And we
we know
slow
we
them
were here. But we could say something like, we've had enough, and we are going to go out there and into the wilderness and die on our own terms rather than dying in the city. Something
Amen.
like that.
In my experience, guardmen are really good about not opening the gate when they're not supposed to open the gate.
We're also
True. The problem is we can't open this gate quietly ourselves. Am I correct? I mean, there's a huge crossbeam.
Or I doubt it. I was thinking maybe if it's possible, try to sneak over the wall. But if you want to try,
Oh, but the sneaking over the wall is so intriguing.
That's
Sneaking over the
funny.
gate. It's wonderful
you
training.
and Vera are the same, and so many ways in which we're not.
So there are 2 guys who are on top, and as long as we're quiet, we probably won't get the guys out of the guard houses, which would be good. But we do have to get by the 2 guys on top, right?
Hmm.
Presumably.
Could one person act as a distraction?
Also intriguing. Or could we just like step 15 feet in one direction into an alley and just go over the wall, not at the gate?
Right? That might be
Not have to
an
go
option.
there.
Right, just avoid it altogether.
So have we just scanning our eyes here and looking for lights in the fog? Do we know, are there any other guards along the outer wall here, or just specifically 2 over the gate?
Give me a perception check.
All right. Also, because of my skulker, it's not limited by dim light, which is nice. 26.
26. There are certainly other guards along the wall. They're pretty far down. They seem to be mostly clustered around the occasional actual tower that rises through the wall, and there's not a whole lot in the long expanses in between those towers.
All right. So why don't we screw the gate and do this a little bit more clandestinely, and pick a direction and go over the wall. We'll pick the direction opposite to the cliff and go over the wall someplace else.
Okay. I feel like
Yeah.
this would go really well or really not well.
I know.
I am
Let's
thinking
find out.
after shutting down your first idea, what if we did the distraction and over the wall and potentially get the gate opened by having Vera go out and call and say, "Can you open the gate?" The rest of us are primed while they're distracted to go to the other place and hop over. And then if he says no, then we all go over the wall. And then she's like, "Okay." And then she sneaks over the wall because she's sneaky. And if they open the gate, we go out the gate.
Oh,
complicated.
that was, but I'm glad you know what's going on. I'll follow what you say.
Yeah, get slower.
It's a little disconcerting to have the now 6'2" bulked out obsidian Shoji giggling here in the alley. It's somehow creepier than when she was just small and evil. It's just weird about this hulking person now with such delight, but she's having a great time.
It's great.
The only problem is, whichever one of us, actually, Galena, have you ever been in the same room with Samvalhain?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, and I reminded him distinctly of another blue dragonborn he once knew.
oh, yes. Because I think
Mm.
every single one of us is have broken our whatever oath with Samvalhain and is in the bad books.
I'm pretty sure he's never seen our revenant friend, though.
That's what I was thinking.
For clarification, the only people who have broken a contract are Shoji and Rin.
Sure. Well, not actually broken a contract, but he has a contract saying you are now declared an enemy of the state and you're all screwed on sight. He did say that to all of us.
Sure. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, yeah.
Yes. So I think Sho in her current form is the only one who's not immediately recognizable as a enemy of the state. So unless we have a disguised self, I know some of us have disguised self?
I just leaned down and rubbed her on my face. How's that?
It's great.
Sorry, what'd you say, Almania? Your mic cut out there.
Oh, I said A+ 2 enthusiastic thumbs up.
It works. So I don't think we don't have disguised self, right? I think nobody
don't.
does. Yeah.
Rin does if somebody wants to run back and get her.
Of
I
course.
didn't know she was an option as an NPC. Is she?
She's been hiding in a basement until you guys basically say all right, cool.
Oh, we need
Because
her.
what she told you is in order to establish her identity more solidly than I look like this, she needs help raiding city archives to actually establish a legal identity. Until then, right, her new identity is remaining hidden.
But would those city archives be in the council district?
They would.
We have another thing on our mission. I got a list of goals. Do. Goal number 5. Documents for Rin. Does anybody object to have brought Rin on this expedition with her multitudinous skills of roguery? Good. We've got Rin.
I'm not gonna let you retcon something like we brought this NPC. That is
But
all
I have
information.
no idea.
It's all information that you had.
I had no idea where she was because my impression was she'd been sent off to Marianne's.
I didn't say it wasn't information that you may have forgotten. I'm saying it was information that at one point you had.
Never mind. I always thought that she was in Marianne's.
I did too, actually. I totally thought that she had left.
Yeah.
That was the plan until she came up with the idea to essentially kill her or get herself executed, and establish a different identity.
Mm.
That one superseded the going against Marianne, right? Because she's an enemy of the state now, and you know that Marianne is in with Samvelheim. There's no infiltrating Marianne's territory if Marianne knows who she is.
Okay, I was confused. I'm sorry. I never understood that. Where Rin was. Never mind. I'm not going to argue with you. So, who should be the one to distract the...
I mean,
Takers?
I can distract. I don't know what to do with it, but I'm very good at distracting people.
See, I'm a little cautious of drawing their attention to us at all, just because all of us are state enemies.
So
And-
I could, since Cho has a new appearance.
Or we could
True.
just say, never mind. We'll just try to sneak over the wall. I didn't mean to throw off everyone's train of thought.
No, it's okay. We're spitballing all around here.
You know what?
Okay. So should we just go to a little further down the wall and try this? How high is the wall here?
40 feet.
40 feet high. Okay. Let me see. So I think this was never corrected on my character sheet. Is my speed 40? I always thought it was, but it's always listed as 35.
It's I think it's 35, right? Because it's 25 plus the 10 for being a monk.
Okay. Yes. Oh, it's my short legs. Yes.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, I think this might be easiest if one of us goes up first and throws down a rope.
I'd be happy to
Wider.
go if I can parkour my way.
Now, what is that? Athletics? Acrobatics? What
Maybe
kind of check would that be?
Dexterity for me, but
Dexterity. Not very dexterous.
what would be acrobatics? Yeah.
Yes, I'm not very good at that.
So Josh, is this athletics or acrobatics to get up this wall quietly?
Well, if you take the stairs, it's neither.
What?
Which stairs?
Stairs?
They're on the inside of the wall. There are various places along the wall where there are stairs to get up the wall.
Oh,
Where are the nearest stairs?
nice. How convenient.
Just
I'm
answer
so used to climb. I don't know about you guys.
Who takes the stairs?
Most of the stairs are nearer to the guardhouses. They would be closer to where there are actually guards. It would be a little harder to stealth that.
How far apart are the guardhouses? Sorry.
No, I'm just trying to figure out where's my. There it is. Do I have a scale on these maps? I do. Look at that. Okay. Looks like about 50 feet. Closer to 75. I'm waiting
So
for
this-
somebody to say I or we do this.
Galena, do
So
you
does
still
any-
want to run up or
I'm happy to go up right here. I can take a rope, drop it down.
any objections? Awesome. All right, go up with a rope, I guess. Hopefully we'll make it up.
I go over and I start climbing up the wall.
Uh,
As
give me,
quietly and as dexterously as possible.
give me an athletics check and a stealth check.
Okay, not acrobatics.
Not acrobatics.
And you get +10.
How are you feeling about climbing?
If you could convince me that you're somehow flipping or cartwheeling up the wall, I'll let you go for acrobatics. But it's going to be a hard convincing to do.
I'll still do it. Not worse. So let's
Oh,
do it.
wait,
You
if
can
it's-
really
if
confident
it's
climbing.
If it's athletics, actually, I have a +4 to athletics.
But are you sneaky?
Well, pass without a trace. I'm sneaky.
Who's climbing up the
Go
wall?
for it, Joe.
wait. Did Almelia run up with a rope? Are we waiting on that? We just
No,
going up.
we're waiting on
Okay.
who is going up with a rope.
Okay, I will do this. I want to
Alright.
do this.
Give me an athletics check and a stealth check with disadvantage.
But pass without a trace. Let's see, and
True. Without a trace.
oh, all right. So 27.
Um, yeah, you kind of get to the wall, and it's like there's not a lot of footholds, nowhere for you to kind of jump. Handing the rope to Shoji just kind of goes, "Come," and just jams her finger kind of through the mortar between the stones, and just kind of claws her way up the wall extremely quietly. Because magic. Gets to the top, tosses the rope down. Each person, please give me a stealth check as you just kind of you run up the wall. So this will be the stealth check for the next chunk here. And Vera, remember that you are rolling with disadvantage.
Wow.
20.
20.
Okay.
36. Wow.
So, Galena, 1, Vera, you rolled a 2, but with 2 plus 10, 22, and Almania with 36.
Yay.
Like wraiths, you just kind of silently up the rope. Shoji, you're holding onto the rope. Oh crap! I haven't been rolling for Damia. Damia,
Oh no!
with disadvantage. Wait, actually,
Why
hold
did
on.
she have disadvantage?
Because she's wearing scale mail. I forgot she was here. Yep, disadvantage. Okay, disadvantage. Here we go. Ha! Rolled a 6. Plus. Hold on.
Guys, the group
course,
check is
what-
overall good.
Of course,
It's true. And plus pass without a trace too.
Dex. Oh, okay. 8. So plus 10. So 18. City guard.
Oh.
Damia, like a less silent wraith, but nevertheless, quiet enough that nobody hears her. She's got a little bit of adrenaline, so she comes like hurtling out of the alley and doesn't stop in time. So she just kind of like slams against the wall with the armor, just like. But climbs up the wall and nobody kind of looks over. You guys are in the dark area between kind of torches and lamps on the wall. And you have made it on top of the wall.
Now we have to get back down again.
That's so much.
What was that, Omania?
That's so much easier, though.
We got a rope.
Can we like stick a piton in here? And so climb down a rope that no one has to be holding and then find a way to like yank it down again?
If you guys want to try that, sure. You also have your climbing kit has a grappling hook. But your choice there is then how do we silently nail a piton into a stone
Yeah.
wall,
Let's do the hook.
or you use the grappling hook and be silent, but you can't really pull it down after you.
Well, let me see. How much fall damage is it to fall 40 feet?
You mean, does Vera think that she could survive a 40-foot fall? Well, mechanically, it's a D6 damage per 10 feet of fall.
Okay, good to know.
Wow, 46.
What if I was gonna say, what if Sho just holds the rope for us, and then like she can use, I don't know,
Oh yeah.
leverage it against something, and then we all get down, and then she can climb down after us with the rope.
True. Another thing I was think we could use the grappling hook and just have whichever one of us wants to stay and might have the easiest time getting down, just take it with them
Yeah, or throw it
as they
off.
go down, just to make sure we don't leave anything. So I forgot what you said, Josh. You said that I might be able to use a dex-based athletics while climbing with the climbing equipment.
Oh, yeah. Because you have the second story work feat, I'll allow you to make a dexterity athletics check.
Awesome. So I'll go down unassisted. So you guys go ahead and take the grappling hook down, and I will then pick it off and just climb down without a rope.
Oh, okay.
Sound good?
Sounds good. I'll go first. I swing over.
Yep. No trouble. All you have to do is slide down the rope. You basically just rappel down the wall. So all of you are able to just kind of get down. And Vera, you're left with the rope. And you're just going to try and climb down unassisted.
Yep. I'm gonna tuck it, wrap it up, tuck it in my bag, and just start to spider crawl my way down.
Be a dexterity athletics check.
Cool. So how would I calculate that? I guess I can just switch it to.
So- If you're not proficient in athletics, then essentially it's just a dexterity ability check.
Right, with disadvantage.
You just roll a d20 and add your dex.
Right.
With
Cool.
disadvantage.
Alrighty. Ooh, yay, good. 19.
Double 15s. Nice. Okay, Vera, you managed to find the handholds and silently climb down. You are all now outside the city walls, looking out at just endless grasslands that slope down over dozens of miles, and then, slope up over dozens of miles. Sorry, the river comes down from the mountains, eventually to the mountains far, far in the distance. Go. Turning back to the city, you can hear the rushing of the Druinak River far off in the darkness to your left. Who has... Vera, you've got 30 feet of dark vision. Shoji, do you have dark vision? I can't remember. Should be under abilities. Or not? No, it would be in May. Yeah, you have 30 feet of dark vision. Galena and Elmania are completely in the dark here. There is the glow of both moons, so you guys can see a little bit, but for all intents and purposes, you guys are in just darkness. But rising up in the moonlight is the huge cliff that leads up to the council district with the wall perched atop it. However, you are in the wilderness. If somebody would give me a quick D20 roll.
not it.
Oh, it's JD. Okay. JD rolls a 2.
I love how JD is just like the axe of God, which just seems so appropriate for the producer to roll the axe of God.
I
Is that
am
you?
JD, axe of God. Okay. Good. And then JD, if you could roll me a D100. We'll call it a 31. Okay.
Okay, is it bears for Almania? Please say it's bears, and she knows that it's bears.
Almania, your gloves start glowing. You guys hug the cliff. You guys hug the cliff, heading off in the direction that you can hear the river thoroughly in darkness in the shadows of the cliff. You hear some voices. You cannot quite make out what they're saying over the sound of the river, but off what you would estimate kind of near the bank of the river, you do hear the occasional voice.
Can one of us like climb up over a ledge and look down?
So you guys are right now level with the bank. This is somewhere off in the darkness. You are at a place on the wall where you could probably climb up and be fine.
Okay. That there's someone below us. If we start climbing, there'd be somebody down there.
There would be somebody below and then way off towards the river.
Right. Do you want to risk it anyway? Or find out who it is? You don't want to risk it.
I'm too scared.
I'm just curious, who would be out here in the dark, outside the safety of the city?
That's my thought.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Mary, I can see you're talking, but I don't think any of your audio is coming through.
Really?
Oh, now
There you are.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. So what is Almania's take?
Oh, I literally just said, yeah, that's kind of weird, and it makes me a little nervous. But I'm also curious.
How about you all maybe freeze here? And can I get a little closer and just try and hear them? I'm not trying to get within sight, but just sneak up closer in order to hear what they're saying.
Okay. So you want to get closer? Yeah. Give me
Yeah,
a
not within
stealth,
eyesight.
give me a stealth check. Disadvantage, but still with the +10 from Pass Without a Trace.
Bless you, show. But still, 30.
30.
It's insane.
You kind of crawl your way through the grasses towards the river for a few minutes, and you get to the point where just kind of in the moonlight you can see numerous shapes moving around, fairly small, probably around your size. The language, I do not believe that you know it.
Ooh.
What languages do you know?
I know Draconic.
Just Common and Draconic, I think.
I think so, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So Common and Draconic. You do not know what they are saying. You do recognize the language. Actually, you know, go ahead and just roll either an intelligence or wisdom check. Either one.
Okay. We'll go with wisdom. Ooh, man. 20 and a 4. I'm so angry.
20 and a 4. It's whatever the language is, it's harsh and a little bit high pitched.
Okay. And you probably can't tell me this based on that roll, but have I ever heard it before?
You feel like you have it. It sounds a little bit familiar, but you can't quite place it.
Cool.
And
Okay.
they seem to be milling about in complete darkness, chattering, carrying things around, doing something. If you had to guess, it looks almost like they're setting up camp, or just kind of taking a rest and taking care of business before moving on. You're not sure.
Okay, so they're not. It doesn't. The tone of voice doesn't sound violent or conspiratorial. It just seems businesslike.
There are a couple of scuffles where two of them definitely go at each other. But otherwise, it just kind of seems like rough, but business as usual.
Okay, so in other words, they're not invading the city or trying to get in or whatever. They're just doing their thing.
At the moment, they appear to be doing their thing.
Cool. Then I'm not going to bother them, and I will sneak back to the group and inform them of said things.
All right.
So what do you find?
One thing, actually, can I like try and? It sounds awful, but describe the language or try and imitate the language and see if anybody at least recognizes what it could be. I'm not Elmani. I can't mimic it perfectly.
Give me a performance check.
Oh Lord, this is gonna be fun, guys. With disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
Sick. It's so good. It's brilliant.
Vera sounds like she's like talking a loogie and then spitting, and it kind of sounds a little bit like a cat when like it's all its fur is up and it's just like.
Anything like that? Anyone?
You okay, Vera?
Oh, it's been a stressful week. But anyway, they don't seem to be bothering us. Let's continue up the garden mountain.
Right.
Right.
Well, okay. They didn't look anything like kobolds. I mean, they were your size.
Yeah, because they weren't speaking Draconic, which is what kobolds normally speak. But they did seem roughly my size. Does anybody have any ideas? I don't know. My impression is that, and this is entirely Gracious' impression, is that they are water bound. I mean, they're right by the river and they're forming camp and they're going to move on. Have something to do with the river.
Oh, goblins maybe? Well, we've met goblins, I assume.
Well, any creature
Yeah.
seems to be water dependent and would make sense to camp near a water source. But that would be fun, like little serpentine beings.
I try to
I don't know.
glean anything from the way she talks about them in from any kind of stories that I've heard over the years of hanging with bards. Josh?
I mean, there's really nothing particular to distinguish them, other than the noise that Vera made, which just mostly sounded like a cat. And they're, I mean, they're small, roughly halfling sized.
No idea, Mom. No idea.
Well, as long as they don't bother us, we won't bother them.
Plan.
Yeah, let's go up the wall, I suppose.
Right. So who's leading to actually post the rope?
Is that an athletics based? Or could that be a dex?
I mean, it depends on how you want to climb it. If you just want to brute force your way, yeah, it's gonna be strength. Vera, I would allow to use dex athletics again. Everybody else would just be athletics.
Ordinarily, I think we actually show. Do you add 4
Yes.
to your athletics?
Yes.
I add 4 to my dex anyway, but I'm also
Oh.
operating at disadvantage. Maybe you might be actually our best choice
Okay.
as leader.
Ah. All right. I will go up the wall. And is this place okay?
Yeah. It's hold on real quick. So the wall itself, the whole climb is going to be about 100 feet. Real quick. One of you has some rope. You've been using it so far. So let's just. I mean, would everybody have picked up rope or just a couple of people?
I
We
think
all have
everyone's
climbing
three
packs.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
gathering that.
Climbing kit is not actually rope. It's just the like pittons, boot tips, gloves, and a harness.
Oh, well, I
I have
assume we would.
10 and 50 feet of rope.
So you have
I
rope,
have a
50 feet.
explorer's pack.
and Sierra has rope. Would anybody else have grabbed rope on this? Does anybody else want to be carrying that?
Yeah, I would have assumed that climbing gear would include rope. So if it wasn't included, I would have grabbed it.
That's right.
And I don't suppose the jump spell would help me at all, right? Because it means jump. It's jump distance, not jump height, right?
It doubles your jump distance. I mean, it would let you. I think it doubles it. So
Triples it actually. The jump spell triples your jump
okay.
distance.
Yeah. Jumped, tripled. There it is. Until it ends. So for 1 minute. It's a fairly sheer cliff. So it would get you a great head start, but after that, you wouldn't really have anything to jump off of.
Okay. Well, we'll keep that in our back pocket in case we need to, because I do have my leaping belt, which will allow me to cast jump. So I hope,
If you
just in case.
Okay.
if you ever need to like jump over the council district wall, like back into on the other side, you could do that.
Now,
That's pretty cool.
you know, I don't know if there are any bears in there too, but that's like the best that I can.
All right. Who is going up the wall?
I guess I will be going up the wall.
Okay. Give me an athletics check.
All right. Ooh, okay. And then stealth as well.
Yeah. Also, I guess. Give me stealth. It's not going to help really the sound of you. You know, basically beating anchors into the stone of the cliff. But yeah. Okay.
24.
Still. You climb up the cliff, and as she kind of puts in each anchor, the rest of you follow her as she goes up. But with a 22, you manage to eventually scale all the way up to the top. Two
And
people.
what's even better,
Whose rope did you use to get up here?
50 foot.
He's
And
shows.
how,
He's mine.
yeah, how long is mine? Yeah. I would have.
They're all 50 feet, so I'm just wondering
Oh.
who no longer has rope.
Oh, I can use my own.
Okay, so
Okay,
Joji,
and Vera's.
and then whom? And then Vera? Okay.
Also, I just realized leave the climbing spikes here because we were just
Yeah.
talking about having a permanent way in and out that we never have to do this again.
Yeah.
That's nice. Yes. I like
Just
it.
hope that no patrolling guard ever like looks over the wall. Okay.
Oh, your
so
logic.
Leave the pittons, but not the rope.
Oh.
Maybe. Would that be more subtle?
It'd be more subtle. Shoji, you reach the top first.
Okay.
You kind of you dig your fingers into the crenellations and kind of peek up and over. Give me a quick perception check.
Right. Oh, nice. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay. As you got towards the top of the wall, traces of that heavy fog started to kind of climb down the wall. You were not like coming towards you, but like as you got towards the top, you started climbing through the fog that's spilling over the wall. You get to the top and you can see for quite a ways, both down the wall in both directions. You can clearly see where guards are. Their lanterns are are magnified in the light, almost like when you turn on your headlights in a fog, like the I don't know how to describe it, right? But a small light source becomes this giant halo.
It gets
Looking
diffused.
straight ahead, what is that?
It gets diffused.
Diffuse. Perfect. Thank you for listening. Looking straight ahead, you find yourself looking over the council district, but all you can see are the spires and domes of the highest buildings. All of the rest of it is buried under a heavy, heavy mist that you cannot see through. And you recall the couple of times you came to see Sam Velhane fairly early in the morning. The remnants of this were in the alleys and lingering in the streets wherever the sun hadn't touched yet. But at night, it is just thick fog.
Well, in some ways, it's helpful as long as it doesn't poison us.
Yeah, I was going to say, what if it's like a magic mist and somebody uses it to detect everything?
Shoji, you're at the top of the rope. Everybody else is kind of on the rope behind you. What are you doing?
I'm gonna stay near the edge before I actually go up and make myself more visible. I'm gonna wait for other people to go up who are
Well, you're kind of in the way.
in the way. Yeah, okay. I'll climb up and just crouch down and be alert. I'll be specifically looking for if the guards notice we're there. I'll be ready to say something to the party to be ready.
Yeah, you clamber over, hunker down, wait, listen, track where the guards are. Nobody's near you at the moment. Nobody seems to be coming running. As far as you can tell, no one has noticed your presence.
Okay.
You find yourself doing this, and then you realize that
Oh.
you don't sweat.
And I'm not even breathing hard because I don't need to breathe.
You're not even breathing hard. You find yourself breathing hard, but you very quickly realize you're doing it out of habit. You're doing it because you think you should be winded. Stop. You realize that you're not.
Oh. It's fun. It's so happy.
The rest of you kind of climb up, pile onto the wall. The nearest set of stairs is not too far away, and it descends immediately into the fog.
All right. Do we maybe want to send one of us down to poke a toe into it, sort of like a swimming pool? Just to see if there's any
If it's dangerous fog or something.
any immediate reaction. Immediate alarm bell go off.
Well, if we've been walking through it
Um,
previously, I think it should be okay. I mean, maybe it's less concentrated outside the district, but still, I don't know if it would be cause for that much caution. And if it is, what can we do about it? Just run away.
Yeah. Quick question though, Josh. Is the rope still there? As in, we could make a quick like slide down the rope because I suggest we should leave it there for tonight
Yes,
or for this
I
mission.
say so
Unless you
too.
guys want to take the ropes with you, yeah, they're still there.
All right.
Okay, good. Let's leave it. All right. So, do we know based on the map? So the map just has the names of counselors and their estates. Am I correct?
Pretty much.
So, for example, Grove is not the Grove we're looking for. That's someone's name.
Correct.
So we have just hopped. Yeah. So we have just hopped down into Devotion's estate.
You're on the wall, but yeah, down and pretty near to you is Devotion's estate.
Okay.
We need to get that spider
So,
back.
and what? Yes, we do need to get to the spider. So what is this building? Sorry, looking at the map, which is sort of surrounded by the gray specks in the middle of everybody.
Oh, I see. I'm sorry. So all of those small circles denote trees, and the large building there is the old palace, now council chambers.
Okay.
Oh,
But everywhere we've been so far is when we were meeting with Sam Balhain, that was at Sam Balhain's estate.
Correct.
So do we have any idea, or from our previous visits to the district, where that ash grove is?
So you do not know where the ash grove is. There is not an ash grove. There is like the city grove, which is mainly concentrated of just trees. It's not specifically a grove of ash trees, which is concentrated around the palace and then also scattered in small pockets on the various estates.
Okay, so do we want to try and get hold of that first?
I think that's a good idea because
Kind of our priorities. What are our
yeah,
what's our things we want to do? What's
Yeah.
the priority? Is the priority to get the spider and figure out what's been going on with Sam Belhain? Is the priority to get the ash bark? Like what's the plan?
I'd say my vote is priority on Ash Park.
And perhaps because it's on the way, and then go to Sam Balhain's and talk to the spider?
We probably have more likelihood of getting found out at Soundvalheim than we would be trying to scrounge ash bark from trees. Maybe.
Oh, yeah, why don't we try the trees and then sneak through them and get close to Sam Balhain? Because you only have to be within 100 feet. So you could be on the other side of the wall.
Yeah, maybe the
Yeah.
spider could go through a window or something and just like crawl outside of his place. Could I have the spider do that? Like
Have the spider do what?
like crawl outside of his estate, like go through a window or something.
Once you're within 100 feet of it, sure.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It has it's doing what you told it to do before you left contact with it.
Okay. That's so fun. That's why a bug. Bug.
So is she able to like sense when she's within 100 feet of it?
Yeah, I mean it's essentially a psychic link. So yeah, when
Okay,
she's
so she
in
doesn't have to,
100
like,
feet
keep-
of it, it'll be able to respond.
But she doesn't have to keep pinging it as we try and get closer.
I guess.
Like a little sonar almost. Bing.
Ding.
I mean, it's a fair question. I would say that you could probably sense, like, as soon as you enter within that range, you would know immediately when that connection reestablishes. We'll just go ahead and declare it like that. So what's the plan?
Let's head for the palace then, the old palace.
Okay. Are you sending somebody to dip their toe, or is everybody's going? We ditch that plan.
I'll go first, just in case, just to look.
Okay.
I'll put my foot in it.
You descend the stairs. Everybody following you. It's, as far as you can tell, it's just mist, just a thick fog blanketing everything. It's unseasonably cold, and you descend the stairs down to the street level. Visibility is 15 feet at best, and the mists kind of swirl even though there's no wind. And as the guys carefully walk through this, I assume you're kind of keeping the palace walls on your left as you head towards the opening. Always out of the corners of your eyes, the fogs twist into shapes of nightmare, watching, threatening.
Don't like that. Don't like that
But
at
as
all.
soon as you turn to look, it's just swirling fog, and you swear it's your imagination. But sometimes, when you look hard enough, you think you can see just a figure, immensely tall, dark, cloaked and hooded, bearing a tall staff with some kind of thing on the top. But it vanishes as soon as you approach.
Is this the boatman?
You've managed to convince yourself, nope, it's the imagination, when Damia kind of whispers, does anybody else see that guy? You all realize that you're all seeing the same thing.
Yeah, is it the boatman from the
Front of the boat.
from the Karen?
Yeah.
You can't make out features. As soon as you kind of like take a step towards it, the mists again just obscure it, and it's gone.
Or does it look like Almania's post-death friend,
Liliana?
the Lich King?
Oh,
Gee, I hope not.
I would allow Almania to make a perception check.
Okay. Can I get advantage on it because I was dead?
No, because you are now alive.
Good, fair.
And what's the total number?
13.
13. You really can't pick out any features. It could be the boatman, except that it's much larger. I'm talking like 12, 15 feet high,
Oh,
as opposed to the ferryman who was somewhere between 6 and 7 maybe. The lich could be also significantly larger than the lich was, but also you saw the lich in a non-corporeal realm, so I mean, it's really hard to tell. You're not sure. It could be, but
I have no
Does
idea.
as you continue to creep through, you eventually kind of just ahead in the fog. You can hear you hear voices first, and then you can kind of see just the faintest glint of a light illuminating an area way over there. not enough to see any figures, but just like a lamp in a dense fog that's just out of range of your sight. You can just see the barest hints of its light, enough to know that you're getting near someone.
Is it in the direction we're trying to get?
Yeah, you can
the light?
see. You're fairly certain that you're near kind of one of the towers that forms the entrance to the actual palace area.
I suggest we go around. Yeah.
Right. So based on, so I went around this area back when we were still in Sam Valhain's good graces. So are these triangles guard towers?
These triangles. Are you talking about the ones directly over the river?
Yeah. So there's like triangular
Yeah,
shapes. Sorry, my map won't extend.
Those
in each of the
are
corners.
Yeah, those are guard towers.
So we're probably approaching the one that's right at the corner of Devotion and the Palace District. Right here. Am I right?
You have no frame of reference.
And well, I've been here before, is my frame of reference.
Yes, but all you can see is maybe 10 feet in front of you.
Right. So is the light up or on a level with us?
It's on a level with you. It's just further along this wall that you guys are walking along.
We're not on the wall.
No, you guys are
We
on
went down the stairs.
street. You guys are on the street, hugging a stone wall, following it through the fog.
Okay. So the lights are not up in the tower, they're down at the base.
Yeah, they're on the same level that you are. You're walking along a city street.
Okay.
A city street that runs along the base of the wall. Further along the wall in the direction that you're going down the street is a light. And you can hear muffled voices.
I have a question. Is fog considered like fog like this? Is fog in the game considered darkness? Like, is it something that you need like something to be able to see through, or is it separate from that?
Dark vision would not help you at all.
Okay, because I have like a special stone thing from the Minotaurs that gave me night like dark vision, and I didn't know if that like gave me right. And it's not in my inventory, which is weird, but I remember getting this that it gave me dark vision.
Oh yeah,
And
trade it for your.
I wasn't sure if that because it was a magical item, if it would allow me to see through something like this, or if it like helps with anything magical or something along those lines. I just like
it grants you dark vision, but dark vision sees through, right? Basically, can take very, very, very little light and still construct a workable image of your surroundings. This is not an absence of light. This is a presence of heavy moisture.
Obscuration, yeah. Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure because it wasn't on my character sheet. I wanted to make sure there wasn't like anything special part of it that I like didn't know.
That's great. Let me go ahead and make that and throw it in your inventory here because I had forgotten about that.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, to show, I think she's gonna say, let's avoid this. She's gonna head away from the light and start making your way around, like at a very safe distance.
Yeah, I was going to ask those, like, what's directly on our right then? If we're walking along the road, I suppose we don't know.
Directly on your right is a heavy wall of fog.
Okay, so we have no idea. Quick question. Does my skulker feat help with this?
Oh.
Help with what?
Seeing, because it says that dim light doesn't cause disadvantage on perception checks based on sight.
Cool. This is not dim light. This is heavily obscured.
Okay. So it's the equivalent of pitch dark?
No, you can see. There is just so much mist that all you can see is mist, as opposed to darkness where you wouldn't see any mist.
All right. So yeah, can we? The only thing I'm worried about leaving the road is if we leave the wall, we might completely get lost.
Oh, that's
all
true.
this. So can I
Should
perhaps
we?
just creep forward a tiny, leave you guys here again, creep forward a tiny bit just to see if I can hear them and hear who they are? I mean, obviously everybody in here is an enemy, but just to overhear them a tiny, tiny bit. See what we're up against or count, because we could also take out some people if we do it quietly.
That's not a bad idea.
Sorry, my evil is showing again.
Oh no, I have to remember I'm not evil anymore.
I know neither of us are evil anymore. What are we gonna do with ourselves?
No, I'm becoming good. No.
We are dragged towards goodness, kicking and screaming the entire way.
Yeah.
So can I hug the wall and just creep forward a tiny bit and try and get, again, same thing as did before, close enough to make out actual words?
Yeah, give me a perception check.
Perception check.
With disadvantage.
Yes. Skills, perception. 12.
12. Okay. You have to get pretty close before you can make out what they're saying. Oh, I didn't have you all make stealth checks as you came down here. So could everybody real quick give me a stealth check? Showed you we're continuing yours from when you came over the wall. So I know you're at a 24. I just forgot to have everybody else do it for this leg of the journey here.
31.
Okay, 31 on Almania.
24.
31, 24. Okay. Galena, what'd you roll?
26.
26. Okay. It's really high. Also, with the time that it took you guys to climb the 100 feet, there's probably about 10 minutes or so left on the Pass Without a Trace.
Okay. Okay, I have one more spell slot available for that. So maybe after that happens, I'll cast it one more time. I'm
Also,
so scared.
Vera,
Invisibility.
you also have a potion of invisibility.
Just in case.
It disappears from your guys' sight, but although she continues to hug the wall as she goes forward, Vera, for a brief moment, you're just in complete silence, other than just kind of the dull, distant bass of whatever voice is speaking. And as you continue along the wall, the voices become a little bit clearer and a little bit clearer until you finally hear, "Yeah, I haven't hit the right post all month, not since the fog got this thick. It just haven't been able to find it." Another voice, "Well, hopefully whoever was supposed to be here accidentally stumbled into your post. I don't give a shit. As long as I'm not standing here alone, this place just creeps the hell out of me. Well, at least we're not in the lower city. It's did you ever happen to Rebig and his crew down in the hangar?"
Vera happened.
Some thing that the cult spawned just tore through his squad. Only him and 2 others made it out, but apparently they're quite the celebrities down there now.
Okay, I made some heroes.
Killed a few. Fucking made some heroes.
You know, it's his fucking fault for refusing when the call came out to bring everybody back in here. He's welcome to whatever fame he can get. I'll take creepy fog over nasty critters. And that conversation, gradually fades into quiet.
Is it bears? Are they
and the bears.
I'm sorry, I forgot. There's a part of the conversation that I've written down. Did you see that bear storming through the park the other day?
That's great.
Someday.
That's about what you hear before just kind of the oppressive fog and it almost strangles the energy out of the conversation, and they both gradually fall silent as they stand their post.
And as far as
Stationary,
I
good.
can, yeah, as far as I can determine, they are 2.
You only heard 2 voices, yeah.
But yes, so they don't appear to be moving. They seem to be here for the night, as far as I can determine.
I mean, they're there. You don't know for how long.
Okay, so I will go back to the team here and say, it's just guards. But what we might be able to do is hug the wall and then loop around and then hit the wall again.
Okay. What about like using a rope to make sure that we don't get separated from each other as we're going through the fog if we can't see very
That's a
well? I don't know.
good idea.
Very smart.
That's a very good idea.
Just tired of dying.
You may have inspiration. So at some point before your next that's what I should start doing to encourage survival plan. Start handing out inspiration. Inspiration, but at some point this in-game night, you may re-roll an ability check. You do have to declare before you roll. So it's one of these. It's basically free advantage on any check of your choice, but you have to declare it before.
Okay. Thank you. Okay.
You guys all loop ropes around yourselves in a line. Can I just because can I get a marching order?
I'll take a back-ish, like, I don't know, close to the back, but not all the way.
Yeah, maybe Damia in the middle where we can protect her.
Good.
I'll go in the. Even though I'm rolling with disadvantage, my perception's still pretty good, so I can go in the front.
I'll go behind Vera.
Yeah, back me up here. If I
Yeah.
get us all into
I got
trouble.
you.
The end.
Vera, Sho, Damia, and then Almanya and Galena.
Yeah.
All right.
And I hope I've already said it, but I would like to cast the last pass without a trace.
Do you hold on? I meant to check this earlier. The spell slots on your page, I don't think are correct.
Oh, ooh.
Doesn't spell. Oh, they are. You've got 4 and 3.
Okay.
It would have been my fault because I meant to mention that earlier, but no, it's actually fine. You've got 4 first and 3 second, so you've got 1 more second left to go. Good. Okay. So I'm sorry. So now you have no second.
No.
left.
Yeah.
All right. So the plan is to leave the wall and then arc around back to the wall. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Vera, you're in front. Could you give me a survival check, please?
Could I also be looking for like trees, like ash bark, like the ash trees that we might be passing?
Should you, if you want to make a perception check as well?
Is this this? Could someone give me a help action here? As in, we're all looking out for where we're supposed to go because we're all sort of moving as a unit here.
Shoji would be the only one. So if you want her to make a perception check looking for trees, or give you the help action.
I could help Vera and pass it along, like, hey, be on the lookout for the ash trees.
Oh, I'll definitely look for trees. Like,
all right.
Vera, give me a flat survival check, single roll. And then
Well, fingers crossed. Oh no, come on.
Oh
Could have
Um,
been worse.
You guys are.
Sorry, I was hoping it was perception.
Almanya, can you give me? You want to? Actually, if anybody else other than Vera and Shoji can roll perception if they'd like.
Natural
Very
20.
nice.
no.
Thank you.
You're
That
welcome.
cancel mine.
You're welcome.
Total of 23.
Yes.
Dami, I'll keep an eye out for trees, sure. Okay.
So hard.
Okay.
I'm also looking for trees. That's 18. I forgot to do perception. It's 18.
Oh, wow, that struck me as so funny. I am also looking for trees. Vera, you kind of calculate in your mind an arc and try to get a sense of kind of where you are as you continue around so that you can hit the wall again. And you find yourself kind of where you should have been approaching the wall, still not there yet, and then eventually you do hit it, but you're facing, based on your estimation, you've essentially done this. Drawing. There we go. Enter drawing mode. You basically walked forward, attempted an arc, and then kind of ended facing the same direction, and now you've hit the wall. Do you see that?
I'm sorry, I don't know where to look.
So what you were trying to do is go like this and hit the
Yes.
wall, right? When you finally hit the wall, you're facing not this direction, but this direction.
I'm so sorry. You're frozen on my screen. So could you do that again? I did not see the gesture. I'm sorry, my internet is terrible. Everybody's cutting in and out.
It always happens right around now, I think. Something
Yeah,
about
I think-
7:30.
Yeah, I think it gets overloaded from all the bandwidth use.
Mm.
Just gonna draw this real quick.
I'm wondering though, because we could have used the light on the guard as a
Guide,
as
right?
a focal point. Yeah, it's not like we're
Yeah.
in complete.
Yeah,
maintain your little compass distance away and do that.
Right.
All right, I rolled a 5 on my survival. I deserve what happened.
At least we're together.
Behold my amazing illustration.
Oh,
Like it.
very nice.
That's where we started. Telling me.
Oh no.
Yes, but the wall is on the other side.
So we just got turned around completely.
So where's the light?
The
guard
light,
post.
the light, as you were kind of looking around, looking where to go, at some point you realized that you lost the direction of the light.
So can we see it now at all?
You cannot hear the voices. You can't see the light.
Okay.
Um,
But
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
so I was going to say, if we just flip around and have the wall back on the correct side or the same side as we walked in, we can presume that we're heading in the same direction that we were heading.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Mind you, this is me talking, and I can get lost in Thomas Clarence school. So, I can get lost at school where I've worked for 3 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So that
you
happens.
guys are facing a stone wall that rises up out of sight into
Okay.
the fog in both directions, out of sight into the fog. Behind you, presumably is the other side of the street you're on, but all you can see is fog.
Okay, let's put it back on our left side again and keep going forward.
Okay.
A good idea. Yeah.
JD, could you give me a D12 roll, please?
Oh, great. We made the right decision, guys.
Can we be stealthing? Like, I think we've done
Stealthing.
stealthing, right? Oh, yeah.
Okay, so are you putting the wall on your left or your right?
Left.
Left.
Same as we had it when we came in.
Okay. So the wall that you're facing. Okay, so you take a right. The wall is now on your left. You continue along the wall. On your left. You continue along the wall, and then you hit kind of a juncture where the wall is going in this direction, and then it kind of hits a corner. Continuing along that, you do find yourself in an area of trees of many different kinds.
Okay. Let's look for ash.
Anyone proficient in nature?
No.
Almania did roll a 20.
To find
Oh,
trees.
yeah.
I rolled a 20 to find trees, and we have now found them.
Efficiency.
No, I'm not proficient in nature at all.
Is anybody proficient in nature?
I have a +2 to animal handling, specifically bears.
Cool. Damia is not. Cool. None of you know what
I've seen the ash bark.
I've seen ash bark too.
True.
You have seen powdered ash bark.
Should we just gather from multiple trees?
None of you know what an ash tree looks like.
Start grabbing bark from every bag of
I think we should do that. Honestly, if we don't know, we'll take them all.
holding. This is why we have one. Throw whatever kind of shit we find into it.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be useful.
Utilizing a collection of like rags and whatnot, you take bark off of various trees, stuff it into this rag, into the bag of holding, different tree bark into this one, into the bag. You guys, so Almania and Shoji are doing that. Galena and Vera, what are you guys doing?
Can we at least like roll nature in order to narrow it down, having seen the bark before?
I will let one person roll nature, and on the eventual percent on a 25 or no, it would be a very hard check. If somebody can meet or beat a 25 nature roll, then on the eventual percentile dice check that we make to see whether one of the trees that you took bark from is ash bark, I will make it slightly more likely.
It shouldn't be me because I'm rolling with disadvantage. So someone else.
To say, I can use the inspiration die on this roll.
So here's
Therefore, I can't even get a 25.
I can't either.
Oh.
None of us can.
the only way anybody could is if you had bardic inspiration. So if you wanted to try some bardic inspiration,
Because it's too small a likelihood here.
Yeah, if we're gathering it all up anyways, yeah, I think it'd be all right.
if you guys lived like in a city, in a like a village in the countryside, then yeah, it would be a normal nature check. But like in this world, you're all city people.
So
Unless you
What?
have
Not like a monastery in the
I was going to say, that is not
true.
the monastery.
Communing with nature and learning and studying.
The monastery has exclusively fruit trees.
Oh.
Nice. None of these are fruit trees.
Good to know.
Some of them are, but
If you're collecting
Yeah.
every tree,
Yelena is able to say at least, yeah, cool. Like that's an apple tree. But nobody is really able to positively and confidently say ash tree is not another word for apple tree, right? Those are separate things. Because you do not have experience with plant.
but hey, if we collect bark from every tree that we can possibly get our hands on, then there has to be some ash bark somewhere.
I think this is a worthy enterprise. Like, if this is all we accomplish here, I think it's a good shot. It's a worthwhile.
We are technically feeding people too.
How
It's true.
long do you spend collecting bark?
Yeah, we
And
can't
there's-
waste time.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Spell's
pass without
ready.
a trace is gonna, yeah. But still.
10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
5 minutes?
I should think we should devote a little longer to that. Like, I would even say like half an hour. Just
Well,
because.
How much do we have left? Because we still have other things to do.
That's right.
We're fairly sneaky without pass without a trace.
That's true. I'm a little clunky, but I mean, I could go in the back.
I'm also not very quiet.
The face.
How about we take 10 minutes, collect as much bark as we can, and then we can go. How does that sound?
All right.
I would also like to try to find some apples.
That's fun.
Food?
Well, I mean, food. People are starving. That's good. Yeah.
We need some vitamins.
Sorry, I just have to when do apples grow?
Any fruit. Any fruit. I just want to look around for anything
Summer.
to give my
Apples are-
best.
Apples
That's
are-
good. I'll continue Almania's nat 20 perception check looking for stuff, but we'll wrap it into Galena's search for food. Yes, you have we'll say like a small basket or like two big handfuls of some sort of fruit that grows in late spring, early summer. I will give you more specifics after I do a little bit of research.
I think that might be cherries, actually.
Yeah. Berries. Oh, some berries are late.
Strawberries?
These could be cherry trees. Cherries.
As fascinating as this path of inquiry is, it might be better suited to after the stream.
You're right.
Being like, I wonder if the fruit is harvested in late early summer.
If anybody's watching this live, you'll find the cherries fruits that grow in a temperate climate in late early summer.
Yeah, please comment. Like, listen, screen chat. Go. Give us the best fruit that grows at this time of year.
You have a whole bunch of bark in various things in the in the bag of holding. Cool. I'll add that to the thing later. And fruit. Okay.
Josh maybe wants to know if this is a temperate climate.
It is a temperate climate.
Nice. Okay, great.
As you guys finish up, Vera, something sets off kind of the hairs on the back of your neck. You are aware that you're being watched.
I will like pass that along the chain quietly that we've got here. Like, let's all hunker down. There's something going on. In other words, like, shut up. Let's get really low and prepare for combat immediately.
Bring out my weapons.
I will load my crossbow. Can I tell? Is it just the sense, or can I tell direction?
I will allow a perception check.
Cool.
And you
16.
Yeah, with a 16, you can hear a voice nearby that's just going, and it's over here. You're tracking it. It changes direction, right? It's overhead a little bit. It's just doing circles around you, occasionally overhead, getting closer.
So I couldn't hear what you said. It was saying.
See, this mic picks up my voice, but when I try to do like a weird, creepy whisper, it doesn't.
It just doesn't like that part of your world, Josh.
Yeah, I guess so. It's some kind of low, creepy whisper. Lean into the mic like a creeper. Okay. Official advice from my producer.
I heard some it's a
Intruder? I don't know.
Yeah, were these words?
There were not words.
Oh, okay.
Good to know.
what words they are.
And I would like everybody to make an initiative roll.
Oh, man, I was about to say, you were about to say something else, and I was like, oh man, I thought you were going to say roll initiative, and then you said initiative.
Roll initiative.
I'm on you with a natural 20.
Initiative.
I'm today.
I always suck at initiative, man.
Okay.
Oh,
I
and
think, Josh, though, my thing is I was going to leave at 10, well, like in 15 minutes. And would you like me to start? This always happens. It's always right when you start combat. It's like when I'm about to leave.
I'm
Do you
so
think
sorry.
It's okay. Do you think it would be easier if I just like leave now and then somebody else kind of takes over from the start so that they aren't confused as to like my spell slots and what I'm doing? Or
It's totally up to you. If you want to stick around for the last 15 minutes, just make sure that on the actions tab, you select your spells as you use them.
okay, yeah.
And then I can keep the track as we go as well.
Okay, yeah. I'll see you for the next 15 minutes.
It's your call. You want to do the first part?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. 25 to 20
Me.
with a total of
23. Natural 20 to start though.
oh. What is your dexterity modifier?
My dex is plus 3.
Oh, sorry, 23. No, sorry, you're going first.
Nice.
All right. Elmania. Okay. 20 to 15? 15 to 10.
13.
Elena. 10 to 5. Oh, Vera?
8.
8.
Oh, and 7.
7. All righty. That's around Elmania. Now that Vera has pointed it out, you can also roughly pinpoint where the source of this noise is. It's very difficult because of the fog to get an exact location.
Okay. Okay, let's see. Let me. Okay. I'm going to cast I'm looking furiously through all of my spells of like which ones I don't have to see what I'm doing because we're in the middle of mist. Color spray, I do not need to see what I am doing. So, I want to cast color spray.
Oh.
Which means I roll 6d10. The total is how many hit points of creatures this spell can affect. So creatures in a 15-foot cone originating from me are affected in ascending order of their current hit points. And the one that has the lowest current hit points, each creature affected by the spell is blinded until the end of my next turn. But the creature's hit points are less total. Doing this is that it also a dazzling array of flashing colored light springs from my hand, and I want to see if I can light up the area at least a little bit, even for just like, because it lasts for like a whole round. I want to be able to see if I can like see anything with that light in a 15 cone from me. So, yeah.
Go ahead and roll 6d10.
It allows me to go 5 and then 1. So that's what I'm going to do. If that's cool. Let's see.
It only lets you do 5?
Yeah, 5 and then 1 in addition to that. So 28.
I can do up to like, I think like 30 dice.
Mine says 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20, and then percentage.
Oh, so if you left click on a die, then every time you right click, it adds a new one.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh.
Yeah, you can also do it that way.
But I have 28.
28.
So, yeah. So if anything in a 15-foot cone from me has 28 hit points or less, they're blinded until the end of their next turn. But even despite that, I am basically glowing with flashing colored springs of light for an entire round. And so I want to like see if, I'm going to literally just be a firework for a second. I
think that you're not glowing, but a 15-foot cone from where you cast it is.
Yes. Yeah. So okay. I want to be able to see in that area and everybody else be able to see essentially. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cast. Okay. I've never used color spray before. This is very exciting for me.
A rainbow explodes out from Almania in a 15-foot cone. What was a dense cloud of fog that you could occasionally see, little bits of detail, is now an opaque wall of color and brightness. Because that's what happens when you turn on your brights when you're driving through fog. What you could see through a little bit actually becomes just an opaque wall of light.
Well, yes, but I didn't know if it was like magical fog where like it wasn't really there, if it was like an illusion or not. And I was like, okay, like if it's an illusion, then it's gonna go away, but apparently not.
If it's an illusion, it does not go away. And while your immediate area is quite bright, your vision is now limited hard to 10 feet away.
Okay.
Are you doing anything else?
I am going to, for my bonus action, I don't know if this is going to help at all, but I can at least try. I'm going to use my runestone and use my bonus action to make a 10-foot radius immobile dome of force, which lasts.
I'm going to pause you real quick there.
Huh?
A runestone has to be imbued into an item in order to activate it.
But it says while you are wearing armor or holding a shield, you can use.
Meaning this runestone can be imbued into a piece of armor or a shield, and while wearing that piece of armor or shield, you can use its ability.
Oh, well, this has been super unclear because I've been like waiting this whole time to just like pull this thing out and like hit it on the ground.
You guys haven't explored runestones very much. I'm pretty sure that when you first found this, I said it needed to be imbued into an item. But you guys also just don't know much about runestones. So it does not work on its own.
Great. Awesome. Fantastic.
I'm sorry.
You're ruining all of my plans, Josh, and I'm going to leave in 9 minutes, and you're ruining all of my plans. So thank you.
Are you doing anything else?
Yeah, I was going to use Mantle of Inspiration to expend my bardic inspiration to give everybody 5 temporary hit points.
Isn't it 8?
Oh yeah, you're right. It is 8. 8 temporary hit points, and they can immediately use their reaction to move up to their speed without provoking opportunity attacks if y'all would like to.
And if everybody moves in exactly the same direction because you are all currently tied together with a rope.
Yeah. Oh.
So, is there a direction that everybody would like to move right now?
Do we want to like just hide from this thing? Just like go into the fog and like
There's no time. There's no time for discussion. This is a reaction.
okay.
Anybody going to attempt to move?
No.
Okay. Okay. The whispering comes closer and closer. It's coming towards you, Elmania, kind of through the light, and then moves around to a different side. Vera, if you could make a Constitution saving throw for me, please. This is not with disadvantage. Straight roll.
Oh.
Because this is a saving throw suit. Oh dear. This is good.
She did.
I'm so sorry. I'm
Yes,
so
yes.
sorry. I am back. I'm so sorry, JD, if that messed you up there.
Oh, 21.
It's 21.
Okay. Vera, at first it looks like the mist itself kind of reaches out, forms into a jaw, and then clamps down on you and passes through you before you realize that the mist is laced through with red veins and energy that kind of shift and jolt about a little bit, almost like there's miniature lightning inside it. And as it passes through you, it just feels like ice cold teeth dig into your skin, almost like you've been stabbed with icicles, and you are chilled to your core before it passes completely through you. The feeling fades, and you feel no worse for wear. Maybe a little chilly, but otherwise fine. Galena, you're up. You can see this as it kind of passed through Vera.
Okay, can I make it over to Vera? I assume
You guys are again. You guys are all like right next to each other because you are tied together, and you are you're the ends of the rope. So if you go there, you'll be you're circling the wagons essentially. So you guys will be standing in a circle. But yes, you can do.
I circle the wagons.
Shield walls.
Circle the wagons action.
Circle the wagons.
What are you doing here?
I chose my maneuver as evasive footwork, so I'm going to do that. There's one of them. I texted it earlier in the chat.
I did see it.
Okay. So that means, remind me how that works.
What a great question.
So just with superiority die. So I'm adding the unrolled, or I add the number of one of my superiority door to my armor class. And my superiority die is a D what?
So that only adds to your armor class until you stop moving.
Okay.
This is useful if you're trying to run through a bunch of people and you don't want to take any opportunity attacks.
Okay. Well, then never mind. I don't do that.
Unless you're trying to move out of its threatened sphere, which you're not. You're moving into it.
Or dance around it.
Or dance around it, sure. But ultimately leave its threatened area.
Okay. I go ahead with my quarterstaff. Like I can't sheath it, but I just kind of put it out to my side so I have both my hands free. And I just gather all my energy, and I don't know what I'm doing or if it's going to do anything at all, but I decide to just punch one of the veins that I see. And because I have key empowered strikes, it counts as magical.
It does indeed. Go ahead and roll an attack.
Oh, I forgot to use the actual thing. That's a plus. Oh, a natural 20.
Oh, shit! Roll damage for your unarmed strike, which I think is a d6.
Yeah, 1d6 plus 3. So is that, do I just add 6 to that, or?
Yeah, so you roll your damage and then add your dexterity and then add 6.
Okay, so that is a 7, and then 6 plus that is 13.
13. Whew. Okay, 13 points of damage.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do flurry of, oh, sorry.
Yeah, you punch straight through it, and while nothing resists your fist, kind of through the key, you know that you connected with something incorporeal, and the whatever energy this thing is made of, or whatever holds it together, a large chunk of it is just dispersed, and you see little spirals of like red light, veiny lightning just kind of like scatter off and then just kind of disappear into nothingness. So yeah, no, that was definitely effective, and you took a chunk of this thing.
Okay, then I use a key point, and I'm gonna just do flurry of blows and hit it, bam, bam, 2 more times.
All right, go ahead and spend a key and then roll 2 more attacks.
Woo! Oh, let me actually use my attack. Skills, actions. Whatever is easier this way. Okay. That's an natural 1. The universe is balancing my rolls.
That's the second time this episode where it was like 21.
I think I was shocked by not hitting anything, and I threw out my back. Like, nothing took the force.
You know what? Actually, do go ahead and roll damage.
Okay. Oh, interesting.
Oh, there it is.
That's 7 again.
7. Vera, a dragonborn fist clocks you in the side of the head, and you take 7 points of bludgeoning damage.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's what Galena. Galena, what happens is for a second there, right, flush with the success of just taking a chunk out of this thing, you raise your fist and suddenly find yourself facing in the opposite direction that you just were. And as you spin, the mist is right there, and you swing at it, and it's almost like you're alone, and then suddenly Vera's right there, and your fist hits her. Something weird just happened. That was not your fault.
Oh.
Second flurry of blows attack.
Okay. That's 12.
12 total?
12 total.
12 total. Okay. Trying to hit this, but also kind of a little self-conscious after clocking Vera. You swing again, and this thing just kind of disperses and then reforms right next to you. Vera.
Friends, this is where I take off for the night.
Thanks, Mary.
Oh, goodbye, Mary. Have a fabulous weekend.
Yeah.
Mary, there are no streams next Friday.
Okay, good to know.
So there will not be a game.
Okay.
For whoever's playing me, just remember that I have a 3rd level Dispel Magic if for some reason you can do anything with that. And always Fireball. I'd say Thunderstep, but you can't see where you're bamfing if, like you have to be able to see to use Thunderstep. So, but everything else is up for fair game. So enjoy.
Thanks, Mary.
Bye.
Bye.
Vera, Galena just clocked you in the head. There's this strange mist, reddish mist that is harassing you. What are you doing?
I am going to take Priscilla and try and slash at it and see what happens.
Roll an attack.
And do my attacks have disadvantage, or is it only ability checks?
1 point of exhaustion only gives you disadvantage on ability checks.
Okay, so this is normal. All right, so it's this plus 7, which would be, what's 8 plus 7? 15?
15. Go ahead and roll damage. You take Priscilla, and much like Galena's fist, Priscilla just carves through the energy, and it's an odd sort of resistance that's not entirely physical, but you definitely destroy a portion of this thing.
With sneak attack, because there are definitely enemies within 5 feet.
There are.
Don't take away my sneak attack.
Because this thing is, it does not have a body. There are not vulnerable points, and it does not have eyes that are only focused kind of in one direction. I'm gonna nick sneak attack on this one.
It's in the rules. Fine. I'm angry. I'm very angry. So that would be.
I will happily take back the feat and 2 maneuvers that I've given you all outside of the rules.
How much? I'm sorry, I don't have her stats up here. How much does Priscilla do? Because she's just a dagger, so that's 1d4.
It's a d4
plus
plus 2 plus your dex, so yeah, plus 6.
Okay. So that's
7.
7. And then I'm going to have a little brainwave, and using my offhand, I'm going to draw, I don't know if this will work, well, I guess I'll find out, my silver short sword and see if this is ghostly or does anything to it.
Oh!
I don't have a name for this lady. I'll have to chat. Name my silver short sword. Give me something good. I got Priscilla. I got Old Faithful. I need something for this lady.
Oh, also, I did mean to mention while you're rolling your attack, the chat was very helpful. Strawberries, raspberries, blueberries, blackberries, currants are near maturity. Fruits would have fruit by this time, although they would still be developing. So, Galena, you've got a couple big handfuls of ripening apples.
Take a bite as a carb rush in between attacks.
What's the total roll?
14.
14. Roll damage.
Oh, does the silver do anything? I assume not.
It damages it. It disperses some of it, not as effectively as Priscilla.
Okay, so it's not whatever silver does. I still haven't. Oh my gosh, Bernice is amazing. This is Bernice. Everybody meet Bernice. Thank you, Jack. That's
Priscilla.
flipping awesome.
All right.
So my
Shall I
silver sword is Bernice.
rename your short sword Bernice?
Yes.
All right, go ahead
Yes,
and roll
my
the
silver
damage.
short sword. It's not my normal short sword, but my silver one is Bernice. So this is Bernice does 8 damage.
Thank you, Chad. All right.
That's moi.
All right. Short sword carves a smaller piece of this off, but not as effective. Shoji and then Almanya. Somebody want to run Almanya real quick? Okay, I will run Almanya.
Thank you.
Shoji, what do
I'm
you-
scared of spellcasting.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Okay, can I use my axes and make 2 attacks?
You may.
Yay.
Go ahead and roll your 2 attacks.
Okay.
And correct me if I'm wrong, you took the dual wielding feat?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Gosh, yeah, that'll hit. Go ahead and roll the second one.
Oh.
Wow, shoot, man. 22, 24. Go ahead and roll the damage for that. I think that's 2d8 total.
2d8.
It'll be
Okay.
2d8 plus 8.
Yay!
So
So 11.
19.
19.
19 points of
Okay.
damage.
Okay.
Shoji actually, like, Vera takes a step forward and, like, a little bit of whiplash in the rope connecting you guys actually spins you around a little bit, Vera. And just kind of war axe or battle axe in each hand just kind of through the thing. And the last of the energy just kind of bursts and scatters apart.
Oh, is it dead?
You hear other whispering kind of swirling around that then slowly fades off into the distance.
Oh. Okay. Guess I do not have to use the combination attack. All right.
Okay, is it bad that this is totally giving me vibes of in Skyrim, those like floating ice creatures that come out of nowhere and attack you? I
Ice
forget what
wraiths?
they're called. Yes, this thing was an ice wraith in my brain.
As you all take a second looking around, the other whispers fade. However, in the bark getting and fruit collecting and combat, you are no longer within sight of the wall.
I would like to take a moment to untie myself and just hold on to the rope.
Okay.
So if there's another encounter, I won't be like actually hindered. I could just let go.
Okay. So Shoji is no longer
Agreed.
tied in.
Can I do
And-
that as well? More like kindergartners at the zoo?
Yeah, just holding on. Yeah.
It's not like skiing where like the parent has their kid literally on a leash.
Except that I'm the parent because I want to keep mine tied around the waist because I'm at the end.
All right. What's the plan?
Well, don't trust my nature checks ever again. Anybody else want to give it a shot?
Ooh, JD, can you give me a quick percentile die roll? If you right click on the D10 and you just click the percentage thing, there you go. All right. All right, thank you. What are you doing?
Should we continue searching for ash bark, or should we try to make our way to the wall or to the estate?
I think we need to start getting to Sybil Haynes if we possibly can. But currently we're like ships at sea with no stars.
Just
So
wander through this grove.
yeah,
It
this
was
is a complete, 360 degrees, pick a direction and go.
Hobbit style, just Mirkwood, we're lost. All right.
Yeah. Roll for it?
Are you-
Hey, that's a good idea.
I
Are
say
you
we just
rolling?
roll a random direction. Yeah.
Well,
How do we
do we
roll
have
for a
reference of
360
where the ball
degrees?
was? Yeah.
Yeah, do we have any landmarks at all?
Yeah. Do we remember where the wall was? Or think?
For the tree? Oh, wait. Sorry, we just gouged holes in a ton of trees. Can we find?
Oh.
Yeah, if you're gonna try and find your way back to the wall?
Yeah.
Vera, give me a survival check. Shoji can assist.
Stop making it me. I refuse.
You're in front.
Should I go in front? Like we can switch places.
We can switch. I'll give you an assist because I'm rolling a disadvantage and it sucks. So you can have my help action. So roll.
Okay.
Roll survival with advantage.
Yay! Oh wait. 1 second. Survival. 2. Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
Total of
Oh, it's
18.
done.
Absolutely. You know exactly where the wall is. And you kind of everybody holding onto the rope, you head off in that direction. It's just ahead. It should be just, it's not where you thought it was.
Oh.
You
Okay,
turn
we roll
around.
for it.
You turn around and you've also left the trees. And when you head back in exactly the direction you just came, the trees are also gone.
The fog
Uh-huh.
is messing with our brains.
Oh.
It really wasn't my fault I punched you, Vera. I don't think it was my fault.
I don't blame you at all, Jerry. I suggest we continue on until we find some sort of landmark at all and stop and wait. Because if we keep on going, we'll just be here all night.
Yeah.
And this thing goes away at dawn, as I recall. So can we just keep on going until we hit a tree or something
Just
in the direction that we've been going?
Back along the wall.
you guys you don't know
Well,
where the wall
complete
is.
chance. We don't know where we are.
Oh, we didn't find the wall. Oh, okay.
So are you continuing on in the direction that you're just currently headed?
Until we find
think it's a good
some
idea,
sort
just-
of landmark, and we're gonna stop.
You guys continue to walk through the streets. The fog almost seems like it's getting thicker. That figure continues to appear, strange shapes out of the corners of your eyes. Occasionally, you hear that menacing whispering, and you kind of stop and wait. It passes by. And you guys head on straight, and you come to a pool of water. You kind of cross this narrow street until you're just staring down at just kind of this placid pool of water, and just off to your right, there's a small grassy walkway that projects out into the water and then disappears into the fog.
Oh. Is that the building, like the pentagon-shaped building on the map?
I don't know.
Well, we have a map, right? Can I ask Vera, like, hey, is this where we are? Do you think?
So you do not have a map with you. The
Oh,
the maps are basically like what Benji has on his table, like in the headquarters. Vera is roughly familiar with this, but
Do I know from having been here before what that actually is? That pentagon with the blue around it.
yeah,
Grace doesn't know what it is on the map.
it's a large on the thing on the map is a large park kind of out in this large pond essentially, and it's a very nice place for wealthy people to walk around on real grass and enjoy water and ducks and benches in a nice grassy park.
So it's a park that's an island, or is this like little lake that is?
There
Set in?
are walkways out to the large island, and then a number of smaller little peninsulas that branch off of it.
Cool. So this pool is too small to be that, correct?
You can't really gauge just by looking at kind of the 10-foot radius that you guys can see. You can't really gauge its size.
Okay. And you were saying, I'm sorry, I missed the word that you used because of my internet, but a grate that goes out from it into the distance?
No, a
What did you say?
grassy walkway.
A walkway. Okay. So is that familiar to what I've seen before of this parkland area?
It could be.
Well, have I been here or have I not? I guess is my question.
You can't tell.
Mm.
I mean, I have I ever been even before the fog, before all of this, have I ever seen that area in daylight normally?
Oh, I'm sorry, I misunderstood the question. You know what? Give me a D100. Just a percentile roll. We'll call it 50 and
Okay.
under. You have 13.
I don't know what that was.
Yes, you know that park has several benches in the shade of nice trees, places almost curtained off by tall reeds and flower bushes and trees, and it is occasionally used, like doing business deals on a golf course. And things like that.
Right.
So yeah, you would probably have met with one of the judges who's in the Mayweather's pocket up here, things like that. So yeah, I would say you've been here.
Okay. So can I tell, does this grassy walkway look like one of the walkways that's part of this park that leads out into the Pentagon?
You don't know of anywhere else in the district that looks like it.
Right.
Okay.
Very well could
We
be.
know where we are.
Ish.
Ish.
So the only yeah. So can we put, I'm just gonna take a guess. Can we put the water on maybe our right and just follow the water line?
Yeah, you follow the walkway. It continues along the water line. As you see more and more water, another walkway kind of angled this time off into the mist. Yeah, you become increasingly confident that you know where you are.
Okay. Oh, so I didn't mean that we're walking like towards the Pentagon, but that we're doing this.
No, that's what I mean. You've got the water on your right. So what I'm saying is, what was just maybe a pool, as you're walking and there's still water on your right kind of the whole time, and eventually another walkway that splits off. Yeah, and eventually you hit kind of the city wall, not the city wall, but the district wall that joins at the corner of the pentagonal area.
Yeah, and right down that street is Semblehames, right? Go to the left.
I guess that my question is, are we at which corner are we? In other words, did we guess right putting it on our right? Are we at the corner of like, what is that, Bevies and Quithross? Or are we at Quithross and the district wall to the rest of the city?
You got to the water and then turned left, keeping the water on your right, and eventually hit the city wall.
And it's a corner.
Yeah, there's no other direction.
No, where two walls kind of come to a corner where the water on your right ends.
Okay.
Okay, so we are in the right spot. Okay, so can we just follow that road down to Semblehames?
Is that what you're doing?
Sure.
If this is a road, this dark line that goes straight to his.
So we take a hard left and follow the main walkway. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, or follow the direction of that district wall, because it pretty much keeps going straight on the road.
Mm-hmm.
That's a road, isn't it?
That is a road, yes.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
so we're following the road. What is that? Southwest.
Okay. You guys leave the wall heading towards the center of the district. Vera, give me a survival check. I'm sorry.
Wait,
Joji,
no.
Give me a survival check with advantage, as Vera is helping you with her expert knowledge.
Yay! Oh, natural 20. Uh-huh. And it's
Right.
so natural 20.
You guys continue down the road, which changes. Doesn't change, but hooks, right? Hits a an L intersection. Does not continue straight.
Oh,
And you're a little confused for a moment, and then you kind of blink and peer through the fog. Optical illusion. Road definitely continues straight. And you just kind of continue on. And that happens a couple of times where you could swear that the road is laid out differently before kind of waiting a second, Vera, right, kind of quietly whispering in your ear where we are, and as you take a second look, right, it's no, the road continues on. And eventually you find yourselves staring at a familiar hedge, familiar kind of arch leading onto San Valhain's estate. Standing where you are, nope, wrong map. Here we go. Road. Okay. It is at this point, Shoji, that I need you to roll several d4s for me.
ooh. Okay.
Um,
Oh.
Just two d4s.
Okay. 2 and 3.
2 and 3. Okay. As you get closer to the estate, you suddenly feel the link between you and your familiar. It was not, your spider was not consumed by rats, birds, or any other insect.
Thank goodness. Oh,
Thing.
yes. Okay, so I'd like to stop everyone there.
25% chance each day that like some other type of vermin.
Yay! Okay, I'm so proud of it. Okay, I'd like to.
Your link with your familiar immediately reestablishes.
Awesome. Okay, I'd like to stop the party. Say, okay, I sense the spider, and I guess I'd like it to, as quickly as possible, communicate all the information is gathered on San Valheim, people making plans, doing things, such like that. Give me a report.
First, I need two things.
Okay.
If all of you could re-roll stealth after that combat, I'd have you do that after the combat. And JD, if you could give me one more percentile die roll.
My stealth is so bad. Still a pass without a trace?
Pass without
At
pass
this
without a
point,
trace?
at this point, pass without a trace has faded.
Ah, I'm so noisy.
May I add my superiority die as part of my ambush maneuver to this stealth roll?
Are you ambushing somebody?
It's not what it says. It says anytime you make a stealth roll, you can add a superiority die.
Fantastic. Yeah, you
Nice.
can have a superiority die to it.
Oh.
All right, what do we got with stealth? Shoji, why does it have you rolling stealth? Oh, I'm sorry, because I told it to. You have disadvantage on stealth.
Yeah.
You need all of us to roll stealth, Josh.
Yeah, and I guess I'll go ahead and roll for Almania here. Stealth.
Nice.
All right, give me totals. Galena with a 19. Almania's got a
17.
Vera with 17. Shoji, what's yours?
6.
6. 17, 13. Okay. Shoji. Sorry, I said I needed 2 things. Actually, I need several more.
Okay.
Shoji's. Could you please roll 4 perception checks for your spider. Let me look up the.
Perception for a spider.
Can be plus nothing.
Plus nothing. Okay. Oh no, that was a really bad one. Perception. Oh,
I think you accidentally did persuasion for one of those.
oh
So,
oops.
I'm just going to be taking the dice rolls. So I'm seeing 16, 1, 5, and 16.
Mm. Yes.
Okay.
Apparently, spiders aren't persuasive. I beg to differ.
JD says
Perception.
luck roll?
My bad.
Does
Okay.
show have luck?
Your spider tells you several things. One, there is a party for the nobility of the city. All merchants, sorry, all nobility and merchants of second class and above have been invited to a party at Sam Valhain's mansion at 6 p.m. on the 3rd of Resistance, which at the moment you all know is a full red moon.
Oh. Oh.
You also learn that Sam Valhain has been spending almost all of his time either not in the manor, in fact, would you know, looking for him at night. The spider does not know where Sam Valhain sleeps and has never seen him in the manor at night. Late into the morning, Sam Valhain is reading obsessively. In one of the large rooms towards the back of the estate. Just piles of books. At
You
that
mean
that
that
point,
in the late morning of sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just asking a clarifying question. Do you mean like every day the spider's been there, he's been reading during the mid-morning, like he comes back?
Right. The spider has been there for, including today, 1, 2, 3, 4 days. Oops. Did I get the no? Yeah, 4 days. In those 4 days, it has never seen Sam Valhain at night. He reads until around mid-morning, enters a certain room in the house that you could locate, and the spider does not see him for the rest of the day. So basically, the spider only sees him between around 6 and 10 in the morning. Other than that, he's just gone. But during the day, right after 10 until nightfall, it knows what room he's in. It is at that point that Vera, you hear a clink of metal on cobblestones, just like metal just kind of scraped across the cobblestones directly between you guys and where you're kind of looking towards the estate.
All right, everybody, it is time to bail immediately.
Okay.
Sorry, let me bring the map up again here for myself. There we are. Okay, so if we keep on going straight on the road that we're on, unless I'm mistaken, we're gonna hit the palace area wall. I suggest we start
yeah.
doing that.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
Real quick, Vera, you hear another like rasp of metal on stone that's just ahead of you guys. I need one person. Well, it would be either Show or Vera. I need a direction.
What do you mean?
Direction? Like that we're gonna go?
Yes. Which way do you lead the party?
Follow the road to go to the palace district.
And so we're looking out to the side. There's one noise, scraping metal, and then there's another
So
noise in front of us.
If you're standing there kind of looking ahead at the lights of Sam Velhain's estate,
Mhm.
almost directly in front of you, metal just scraped against stone.
Okay.
So where did we approach Sam Belhane's from? If I recall, we approached it from the northeast on this road.
You know that if you are looking at this entrance, you are looking mostly north, but yeah, a little bit northeast.
We would be looking southwest, right? Because we came from the northeast and we're looking in like this.
Shall we just
We're on?
continue on the road, like you were saying?
Yeah, is to continue southwest.
Yeah, on that same road, not towards San Vlahane, but towards the
Yeah,
big palace.
yeah.
Yeah.
Does that make
So,
sense based on
guys-
where we are?
Are you guys heading south?
No, we're trying to stay on the road. Unless the thing, I guess I'm unclear about where the noise is because I can't tell what's in front of us. So is it in front of us on the road if we kept on going?
No, I
It's
mean,
kind of-
you guys are standing there. Okay?
Mhm.
You are
Yeah,
looking
but-
at Velhain's estate. Between where you are and the estate is a length of cobblestone.
Okay.
Somewhere
okay.
between you and the estate, something metal scraped against the cobblestones of the street.
Okay, let's turn to our left and go down that road, right? That we were wanting to do, not.
Yeah, the one that's
Yeah.
going south-ish. It's not going directly south. It goes on the map at least. It goes southwest.
Southwest, yeah. We're wanting to follow the road, not engage
We're
in
not
San
going to
Vlahane.
Sam
So
Belhane's.
yeah, we're gonna
You mean southeast?
West, right?
southeast,
My
west.
directions are
On the
yeah,
map? Yeah, on the map,
southwest
it's
on the map.
southwest-ish, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Right.
You guys are sorry. We're talking about different spots on the map.
Yeah,
I
that's
see what you have to do. Okay. There doesn't matter. I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty. Got it. Okay, so you are heading south, southwest. Joji, give me another survival check.
Okay, can Vera help me?
Vintage. Yeah.
Yay!
I'm sorry. Yeah, with advantage.
Yay!
Oh my gosh.
Natural 20! Wow!
What did you just
Okay.
Damn, another natural 20.
Wow.
These are clutch. These are clutch. Beth.
As you guys are walking through the fog, Vera, every once in a while you hear a similar noise, as of just metal rasping against stone. I'm sorry, I didn't realize that I had just like stopped talking after that. Eventually, the road that you are on leads straight to a familiar glow of light and low rumble of the change in guard as new guards arrive at the gate to the palace district. Sorry, the palace grounds.
Can we wait until they finish their little passing and then try and sneak by and hug the wall and go back to where we
So
began?
A couple of people actually show up, and then the other two leave.
Oh, they were just switching the guards. Okay.
So
Can we wait until those guys leave?
At no point is there nobody kind of standing within the gate.
So can we wait until the old guys leave though and are gone from the scene so they're not we don't trip over them?
Yeah,
Okay.
you guys hunker down.
Should we just try to knock them out and move past into
Just
the
sort of-
wood? The garden area there.
Or are we going to try and get back to where our rope is? Because that's not inside the palace district.
Oh, it
So
wasn't.
should we
Okay.
should we just hug where
Ah.
Dobbs and Grove and Devotion are?
Oh, hey, the
That wall going
grove.
south?
Hey, if we're gonna pass the grove, we should see if it's an ash grove and collect some more bark.
I think our lack of knowledge has shot us in the foot there.
I didn't even think about that. Like preparing, like we should know what it looks like.
I didn't even until tonight, and then I realized, like, wait, hang on, they're specifically trying to identify an ash tree.
I don't know what that looks like.
Never seen one. Is anybody proficient? No? Okay, none of them know what it looks like.
So I think we're being stalked and we should leave as quickly as we can and get back to our rope. Galena, what do you think?
Do you think we have enough information? We've accomplished ish 1.5.
Well, yeah. And we've certainly got our recon that coming here during the night is a terrible idea.
That is true. That is true. If you want to go, we can go.
And so are we entering the palace grounds or heading back to the wall?
Now, you did say.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, there is from what you told us, show, because she did tell us what the spider said, yeah.
I would assume so, yes.
Okay. If there's a room that Sambahin is going into every single day and he's not there at night, would this be a time to go check it out and see if we can find anything?
Oh, I was thinking like ambush and kill Sempelheim because he's in that room at a certain time.
We don't know where he is at night.
Yeah,
Otherwise, yes.
We'd also have to turn around and go back to Samboheim's house.
yeah, I think in our
we
current
just
state we
ran away
wouldn't
from.
survive. Yeah.
But now that we know that, we can come back during the day at the appropriate time, maybe. We don't have to contend with this fog. But yes,
Alright.
this is definitely not our only foray into Consul District, fingers crossed.
Yeah. Good reconnaissance mission.
Yes.
Okay.
But based on what we know, would the documents that Rin needs be in the palace?
No, they.
Okay.
would be. Does the answer matter? If it's not in the palace, you're not going to go there tonight.
Well, I would to know where it is for future reference.
So for future reference, that would be in the offices of the Ministry of
Magic.
Uninsured Demographics and Organizations. Cool. I will find where I've written that information and get it to you later. I can more quickly find when each district, like what years each district was constructed, than I can find.
And also, what fruits grow in, late spring, early summer? Thank you, chat. That was very helpful. Currents or whatever.
Scriveners, judges, regulators. That would be in the identification that she, or rather the records that she needs to alter are in the Council of the Treasury. Ministry of the Treasury.
Right. And vaguely, where is that in the council district? Because it's not marked here.
Well, that would. To answer that, I need to review which of the people on the council own which things.
I'm sorry, everybody.
Oh, there it is.
This is for future plotting purposes.
It's for future plotting purposes.
Very important to know.
Yes.
I need to reorganize my Scrivener. Because I have like in my world building file, I have a whole bunch of information, but then in like this campaign file, I have other information. And I can't sync those two things. So I need to find districts, Council of 12. There we go. That would be near the estate of Iril Vern.
Vern.
Also
Okay.
talk about
Vern.
how, the names of these counselors just give me so much joy because there's like Sam Vilhane and like Quithross and all these cool names, and then there's Joe and Jill. Have you guys seen that? I love it.
There are some names that I design, some names I steal, and some names I just use a generator for.
And Joe and Jill, I sincerely hope they're twins or something, because that's just great.
I designed Joe and Jill.
So I recommend that we get out of Dodge. That whatever, if you guys want to stick around and investigate, we can do that too.
I'm kind of with you
I
on
don't know how
getting out of
immediate that
Dodge.
danger is.
Yeah, I think if we have opportunity to grab some more bark, if we encounter any more trees, but I think our priority should be to get out of here.
Say that again, Galena.
What'd you say, Jenny?
Oh, and then maybe if we leave and we get a nature manual and study what trees look like.
Be a good idea.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's do
Get one of those. Get one of those little things. I forget what kind of like a chart it is, but like if it has this, does it have like round or pointed leaves? Okay, through.
Spotter's Guide.
My goodness.
All right. We're gonna
Alright,
hug
so
the wall and go south.
Heading back
Get
to-
out
the
of
main wall.
mist.
same order. So I have Sho, Vera, Damia, Elmania, Gelena.
Mhm.
Okay. Following the wall, you guys come back to the wall that then looks out over the wilderness. Follow along that to the steps that you brought down. Go back up, and there is your kind of looking over the right part of the wall. There's your rope that runs all the way down.
Let's go.
Are we taking the rope after we're finished, or are we leaving it here?
Good point. I suggest we leave the spikes, but take the rope.
You don't need an
I'm
alarm.
not sure.
I could like take the rope and climb down maybe with the athletics again. Maybe.
Yeah,
So
like if you go last, or
Yeah. Like let you guys go down, and I, instead of using the rope to go down, I untie it, carry it, and crawl my way back down.
sure, and hope that you don't fall and break. Is your goal?
But if I do, just take my body if it's not in pieces and
Yeah. Okay.
Sure. In what order are you guys going down? So Sho is left.
Do you want to go? Yeah. Do you want to just go in reverse order of how we were? As
So
in,
Gelena,
Joe first, now she's last.
Oh, yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, Gelena, you hop over first, start climbing down. Elmania right behind you. Then Damia, breathing a little easier now that like the stealth mission is over, or at least coming to a close, getting down. Vera, right as you are climbing over the crenellations to kind of get yourself on the rope and show as you're standing there, Vera, you hear another scrape of metal on stone. Peering from under invisibility, one of Sam Velhane's heavily armed guards grabs you and just hurls you off.
Can I try to? Yeah.
Shoji, the other one, sorry, a second one, like football slams into your stomach and then pitches you off the wall as well.
Oh my gosh.
Then uses a sorcery point to make a lightning bolt a bonus action and shoots it straight down the rope.
Can Elmania counterspell that?
Almania is technically within range. I'm gonna say because you are surprised. Let me see if there's an actual rule on that.
Well, we aren't surprised because I told them that we were being followed.
What a good question.
Can like one while they're like tossing Vera, like can that be like the signal, like, oh my gosh, something's happening, and then the other one, since it was second, I don't know.
Let us have it, Joe.
I will allow Almania to attempt to counterspell. So I'll go ahead and reveal my rolls. Show GM rolls. There we go. All right. She needs to beat. See, now you're making me actually pull up the sheet. All right, 1 second. There it is. It is it's a third level spell, so it is canceled.
Yeah.
However, the second is doing the same thing, and that was Elmania's reaction. So, so everybody on the rope, that's Damia, Almania, and Galena, take 37 points of lightning damage.
Fortunately, I have resistance to that.
Oh, good.
You're resistant to lightning damage. Okay.
Yeah.
So you will take 18. Let me mark that down. Well, I'll get that later. And we're going to end right there for tonight.
I can't
Vera-
roll my falling
Vera-
damage.
Bira and Shoji, you guys are hurling out into this abyss. A lightning bolt blasted down the cliff to hit everybody on the rope.
Oh my.
And we'll see you in 2 weeks.
All right. We still have those 8 hit points. Don't forget the temporary hit points.
You might. I think those only last an hour. I will double check.
Oh.
It's still there.
It's been an hour. It probably hasn't been an hour.
We will be back in a couple of weeks. We hope to see you then. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Words. There we go. In the meantime, Diddy, is it no streams at all next week? I probably should have checked. None. Okay, cool. No streams at all next week, but the Monday after, join Becca and crew at 6:30 for Call of Cthulhu Horror on the Orient Express. Visit, follow, subscribe, do other things with our Twitch and YouTube channels. Visit our website at iconicproduction.wordpress.com, where you can follow us on social media. We have lots of podcasts, including real play shows like this one, and you can support us on Patreon. We have a Redbubble store, Iconic Product, which has lots of very cool stuff. And for every 10 people viewing our shows, we add more stuff. Check out my friend and former student's YouTube channel, The Modular DM. He makes all kinds of cool dungeons, walks you through the concept and creation with software, and then invites you to steal it and use it in your campaign. So, go do that. Also, this is exciting. We have an official sponsor now, which is great. As we move closer to being able to return to in-person at the studio, we are very grateful to do so with the support of a local game store, Petrie's Family Games. You will soon be able to see some of their amazing merchandise that you can pick up here on the screen. We encourage you to visit them in person if you're in the area of Colorado Springs. And we encourage you to support your local game store wherever you are. But they will be sponsoring us, which is fantastic. So that's all of my announcements. Thank you all so much for your support. Until 2 weeks from now, we hope you stay happy, healthy, and safe, and do not get chucked off of any